Welcome.
Nope, I failed. Hold on. They can hear us. It's fine. There. Now we're in. Let's go.
Yeah.
They got to hear the welcome and the I failed,
Double
but
welcome.
I could not. My brain couldn't find the transition button. We're here now, though.
Indeed.
Welcome, everybody. Okay. All right. The bell has rung. Class is in session. It is time, my friends, to kindly, for the very first time, roll initiative. The thing that I just asked for, roll 20, is to, when you roll initiative, to please select your token prior to hitting the initiative button. It'll put you right on our turn tracker here for ease. If you are not rolling on roll 20, don't worry about it. I shall do this for you.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready, because my excitement has transitioned into my dice, which should be really interesting.
Okay. Do you and your Eidolon share an initiative?
That's a great question. Let's find out.
I feel like yes, because you guys.
Yeah, because we share actions. So yeah, so that makes sense. We figured it out. That was fast.
Yeah. For ease, I'm just gonna put one of you on there.
Yeah.
If that's okay.
Yep.
Yes. Go ahead. What did you get, Hideaki?
So the only thing I don't know is what's the modifier to add to this? We totally talked about this before, and I forgot.
I was about to try and roll initiative using roll 20. I'm like, I don't know where it is.
Maria, I think you had the answer for that.
Yes, on the roll 20 sheet, towards the bottom right, there's a whole big box called perception. Mm-hmm. In there is 2 small blue boxes. One that says perceive, and the next says initiative. Depending on how big your screen is, it should say initiative.
Initiative.
It also helps if you're on the right screen.
That also, yes, the character page.
See, what had happened was
the important thing to know about rolling initiative is nice roll, Arafe.
I'm not a cleric anymore.
The thing to know is that technically you can roll initiative with all manner of skills. Let's say you're sneaking through a forest, then probably you're gonna roll initiative with your sneaking modifier. However, in this case, almost always the go-to is going to be perception, because it's
cool.
How fast you can get to it.
Cool. In that case, I rolled a 21.
Damn. All right. You think I remember how to use the turn order? I'm never a GM on Roll20.
We're all learning together. Yay! Classes in session indeed.
On that note, though, 3 out of the 5 of us have never done combat in Pathfinder2e. 3 of the 5 of us are still very new.
Yeah.
We're all still learning. Please be patient with us. Thank you. This is our game. Have fun.
Yes, absolutely. So that's actually exactly what I wanted to mention. So oh my gosh, I saw the 24 pop up. I did not see the natural 20 Arafe, our first.
Hey. Wait, why'd I get that now?
Never again in the session. That's
again.
it.
Just never again, period.
So, like we talked about, at the very beginning of session 1, what we want to do is make this super accessible to anybody brand new to Pathfinder2e. So, there'll be rule lookups, there will be discussions a little bit, but it's gonna be entertaining. It's gonna be fun. Just come along with us, join us for this ride. It's fantastic. Okay, so let's break it down. Let me zoom in here into our little East Bath house over here, where Arafe, who was digging through some what there's something moving in the laundry piles? What is going on here? Surprise. These little flitters of paper and cloth jumped out of this pile of laundry and this wicker basket, folding themselves up really quickly into this frog-like shape. The 2 of them have popped up. Let me know if you can't see them on 20. I think I moved them. Cool. All right. So, you know what else I need to do? Roll initiative for them.
That's true.
Yep. No worries.
How do? There it is. There it is. Oh, well, that's nice. Okay.
Yay!
That's a natural one.
I'm good with this.
Now hot. Let's go. There's natural one in
This is this could go great.
We got our first natural 1 and our first natural 20.
In one, it's ready to rock.
And it went the correct way. The player got the 20 and the GM got the 1.
I disagree. I think it should be the reverse.
No. You were wearing your killing people jacket. No.
Oh, it's true. That's true. I took it off. I'm ready.
What you wanted, you took it off too early. That's what it was.
That's true. That's true. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get some generic combat music coming through here. Will it be appropriate? Very unlikely because it's generic combat. Will it be rather fun? But it's all good.
Yes, the swords that we all have. Let's go.
All right. Give me a second here.
Bus road dolls. Skyrim anniversary.
Okay. All right. So at the top of the turn order, maybe because you were a little suspicious as to this movement already, Arafe, are you ready?
Yes. All right. So as she comes up, she does see these two fold into existence, and she goes and turns and begins to sing this very haunting melody. And she is going to cast, what is it called? Haunting Hymn. In a 15-foot cone towards both of them. So they each need to make a Fortitude saving throw DC 17.
Oh, damn.
It says a basic Fortitude saving throw, if that means stuff.
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay.
the only thing basic means is like the effects usually vary when it's like a critical success, critical failure, or between.
If I could jump in there, Pathfinder2e so has the word basic saving throw. Basically, it pertains to if something is going to do damage, and that a basic saving throw lets you know if they succeed it's half, if they fail it's full, if they critically fail it's double, and if they critically succeed it's 0 for damage. And then there might be extra things there.
Okay.
So Roll20 decided to like break for me for a second. So
Oh, no.
I don't know if you guys give me a second here. Let's try that again. Please.
Not a real online game unless there's technical difficulties.
Okay. There we go. All right. So the first one gets you a nice 7. What was the DC?
17.
That's 10 under. So that is a critical failure.
Y'all.
Yay!
The second one rolled a 10, so that is a regular failure. So please, what does this do?
So if you fail, it is 4 damage. If you critically fail, it is deafened for a minute.
Wow. Okay. So this first one is going to be deafened. So let's give it a nice little, something on this. I don't have ears on any of these icons. We're gonna put this little icon on it. I don't know what it means, but we're gonna use.
I know none of the icons on Roll20 actually like help.
Except for the skulls.
Except for the skulls.
And then, and then you said 4 damage.
4 damage.
Okay. That didn't change at all. That's okay. I'll note it down.
Let's see how far.
And is the damage doubled for the critical failure?
Yes.
It just says if the.
It is.
Okay, so I get both.
Basic. Yeah, that's what basic does.
Okay. I wasn't sure since there was a different critical fail condition. So yes, then it's 8. And
gorgeous. Okay. So yeah, this it's actually what tags does your spell like affect? Does that make sense? And you can ping it too if you so choose.
Okay.
In chat.
Let me grab that one. Sorry guys, learning.
No,
Good
that's
stuff.
perfectly fine. And there we go. So it's auditory and it's sonic. Okay, cool. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, so it does affect them. There's one additional thing, and I'm gonna give this to y'all just as a reminder. the way with Pathfinder 2e that's very kind of convenient is you are also able to do recall knowledges. It's something that's encouraged. Every creature has its own DC. And the way that works is like, hey, do I know anything about this creature? What is it? And it can give you some information depending on whether you meet that DC or not. So you can do recall knowledges using different skills.
And then with my last action, I know might regret this, but I'm gonna back away.
Okay. All right. Yeah, go ahead. How far back are you? How much movement do you have?
25. I'm getting as far away as possible.
You're like, oh, nope. Okay. Perfect. All right. Yeah. So, you just back right out of there, and these frogs are kind of like hopping on this laundry, and they watch you go. Next up, Hideaki.
So, the doors that that I'm sort of right in front of, so I can't see into this room just yet. Is it like I forgot if it was an open door in or out or whatever.
Yeah.
Just from an
So
interaction perspective.
Right. I'm gonna say it is a bath, so they're probably closed doors typically, but
Makes sense.
Arc 2 is kind of like halfway through the door and people have been walking right through here. So I'm gonna say for right now, they're gonna be open.
Okay, cool. So as I kind of like peek in and seeing like just the upcoming melee, is this going to be on an exam of some sort? And I'm going to go ahead and use, I think it's called Share Senses, and my eyes kind of cloud over, and I kind of just like hold my hand on the door, and I am now inside of Overnosa. I think that's exactly the
You're
right
seeing
terminology.
through Overnosa.
Seeing through
Your
Overnosa.
senses
Yes, indeed.
are Overnosas.
Indeed. And seeing this and then seeing Arafe back up, I'm going to use Overnosa to strike at the frog. At one frog. At a frog.
Sure.
At a
The
frog.
one right in front of you?
Sure. That makes sense. Okay, so let's see. But I need to find out where the modifiers for Overnosa is or are. 1 second. So take a minute.
So I believe you're using Wanderer's
Guide.
Guide. So I
Yep.
think like you have a little pop out for Overnosa.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm just trying to find it. Because it is around here. Because manifest. Push come to shove. I'll take just a second to find it. If not, I'll keep it moving.
That's fine. Just if anybody's curious,
There it is. Got it.
Arafe, cool. Arafe, you deafened the first Froggy, right? That was what
Yes.
you did? Cool.
Yep.
So what that means, there's a lot of traits in Pathfinder, which is honestly really, really cool. So you basically slap that deafen trait on this Froggy, and it means you can't hear, and that means you automatically critically fail perception checks and take a -2 to initiatives and other such things, and are immune to auditory effects. That's nice. Cool. All right.
Cool. So I assume perception is actually still the same situation that I'm looking for here, because I don't see like an attack 2 or modifier on this sheet here on my statistics. Just the types, traits, unarmed. Actually, unarmed attacks being this like little T thing.
Yeah, so you are trained in unarmed attacks as Overnosa.
Right.
And attacks are going to be, to hit, it's going to be a d20.
Yep.
And then if they're trained, you're going to add that modifier and their level. Am I correct?
Yes,
Well,
Yep.
it says T, so that's all it says there.
T for trained. And the trained modifier is +2?
Yeah, trained is +2. Usually sometimes it includes, like if you're using Wanderer's Guide, trained will include your level automatically. But
it doesn't, in this case, it doesn't have a modifier at all.
sure. So yeah, trained is +2, and then it'll be a +1, and then since it's a natural attack, it'll probably be plus Dex.
Plus Dex, so 3 plus 18, so that's a +4, I think. So we're looking at a +7, is that right?
Yep.
Cool. Well, that's pretty good. That's a 22 to hit.
A 22 hits,
Yeah, so, and that's
but it does not crit.
Okay, that's okay. That's a D8, so that is 7 points of damage.
Oh goodness. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So with that, you kind of like Overnoza, who was up there already, with Arafe just kind of like looking around, I suppose, on your behalf. You shift your senses into Overnoza, and suddenly you're close up, and these little frogs are right in front of you, and you just lash out. And this first little froggy right here just like gets, you just kind of break it, and it falls into like little pieces of fabric back into the basket.
I feel bad. Oh well. Third action. I'll do the same thing.
Okay. Well, this one, what's the range?
Oh well. That's a good question.
I'm assuming it's gonna be 5 feet.
I assume you're right.
So your 2 actions. What was 1 action to attack, right?
I think so. Yeah.
How many actions to share
'cause
senses?
1.
Okay, so you have 1 more, and you're gonna have to close the distance with the other.
Okay. Then in that case, I'm actually going to back up just a bit, just to kind of draw it into. I think draw it out a little bit.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
just move back.
All
So
right.
that's good for me. I'm good.
Perfect.
Arc turns.
I'm
around
learning.
Arc turns around for a second, like as all that goes down, and between Arafe and Hideaki says, "Well done."
All right. Next up, Talyatya, who is actually not in the room.
Nope. Yeah, Tal had been kind of lagging behind and hears some kind of strange commotion and is going to, I assume that the squares are standard 5 feet.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, it's gonna run up over to right behind Hideaki and kind of like, cause they're kind of short. They're trying to peer around like between Hideaki and Arc.
Yeah.
And can't really see anything from like here. And so I
Yeah.
think that she's just like kind of like peering and looking and just is asking what is going on? What are you doing?
Absolutely. So a thing that you can do in Pathfinder 2e is you can hold an action if you so choose, or not, up to you. You did use 1 action to move, and it is 2 actions to hold an action.
Interesting. Okay.
You don't have to by any means. That's like, I don't know if there is anything that you really would want to at this point, but good to know. And actually, yeah, looking at your kind of line of sight, Overnoza is right blocking your view at that point.
As are
whatever you can.
these two large individuals comparatively.
And as Talyatya asked that question, I'm gonna destroy that name every time. I'm so sorry.
Or you can just call her Tal then.
Okay.
It's totally
Yeah.
fine.
As Tal asked that question, Art kind of glances back and says, "It seems there is a towel frog up there."
They just kind of like do that head like tilt
Head
of
tilt.
like, huh?
What? Amazing. All right.
Yes, but I will hold for. I will hold I would like to hold my final action time with the 2 that I have.
So when you use 2 actions to hold 1 action, it can only
Yeah.
be a 1 action thing that you hold.
Fantastic. That's great to know. I have a spell that is 1 action, a cantrip, and I will hold that spell.
Gorgeous. All right. So you're just kind of like,
Just like,
uncertainly.
what's going on? Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. With that brings us to Arc 2.
Okay. Art kind of calculates everything that's going on during this, and they are going to look at everyone and say, "I would like to see exactly what they're made of." And Ark is going to pull out a book he's going to run 25 feet up, and then he's going to do a simple recall knowledge on this frog.
Absolutely. So this recall knowledge, I will allow arcane or
Can I use my reaction real quick before you roll?
yeah.
I would like to use my reaction to cast a spell on you as you just run away. Specifically guidance. As I see that you're making a move to do something, I'm like, because I can do it within 30 feet. And
What do you say?
I think she tries to say, hang on a second, but it comes out as a kind of distorted, not ethereal, but like an odd,
Like a reverb in your voice?
like an other. It doesn't even sound like what she is trying to say. It sounds like something other, like a language, but not quite.
Okay.
As the magic goes in you, and you have a +1 status bonus to either an attack roll, perception check, saving throw, or skill check that you attempt anytime in the next.
Yeah.
Until my next turn.
Yeah, until your next turn. Perfect. Thank you very much, pal.
You're welcome.
I will be spinning that. Arcana and crafting are the same bonus for me, so I'm gonna just roll Arcana. I will be spinning that here, so I'll take that +1.
Just as a reminder, guidance is a one action. It is not a reaction. It is one action. But we'll just say that was.
She held her.
I held my action.
Okay.
And then it's a
I'm
reaction
sorry.
to spend your held action.
My bad. All right.
But good.
So,
Good looking at them.
Arc 2, you take out your book and you're coming up to these things. Tell me, are you recalling knowledge? Are you trying to see like what kind of magical being? Like you want to roll Arcana or do you want to roll crafting?
I think I want to roll Arcana because I can clearly tell that it's like, at least from Arc's perspective, it's a towel, but to him it's been magically constructed to become a frog.
Yeah, actually, the one that was the towel got like shredded. This one is kind of like an old shirt that looks to be folded up.
Shirt frog, gotcha.
Yeah, shirt frog. All right, yeah, go ahead and roll me an Arcana check. Recall knowledge.
That's an 11. I'm gonna go and use one of my 3 hero points.
Oh,
I just want
okay.
it to work. That was a natural 4. That's a 12. So I doubt I'm learning anything. Arc.
But the +1, that's a 13, correct?
Yeah.
Alrighty, unfortunately that does not meet their DC. So
We
you're looking at it, and is it magical? Yeah, you get the sense that there's like obviously something magical about these little beings because that one definitely was a towel and is now just like a shredded towel.
Yep. So Art kind of runs up there and he's got his book out. You see him even thumbing through a couple of pages of his book as he runs up there, and he glances kind of over, not really taking the battle seriously, and looks at the frog and says, I haven't quite seen something like this before.
Absolutely. All right. So is that all 3 actions?
Yes.
Alrighty.
Draw the book, run up there, recall knowledge.
All right, perfect. So, the last little froggy here is like, you see it kind of like look down at what used to be another froggy. I almost said what they were. And then it kind of looks at you, and what it's going to do is going to take one action, and it's going to hop. And it is in its frog shape, so it's going to just go ahead and hop.
Has another shape?
15 feet right in front of you. And it's like from this little wicker basket, like whoop, down onto the floor, and it looks at you, and it has 0 expressions on its face because it's a origami frog. But that is actually, oh, you know what? I'm sorry. That is 2 actions. So it's going to kind of like hop up and leaps 15 feet horizontally or vertically, and then gets a 10-foot climb speed. But you know, it doesn't matter. It's going to just attack you. And it's interesting because it's like it takes one of its like sharpened little like folded arms and it just kind of like tries to slash at like your ankles, and it's like trying to get you some paper cuts. And let's see, that is going to be a 17 to hit.
You watch Art with this book out, kind of brings the book down and uses it almost as a shield.
Just kind of like blocks it off.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Kind of swipes it away.
All right. Well, that is its little turn, and it kind of like does that little like weird frog, like that bullfrog like thing with its throat, and it goes, but no sound comes out. And as this like the paper like unfolds and refolds. That brings us back to Arafe.
I'm just imagining it being a jersey and you just see 81 pop up.
That seemed like the my brain. I imagine it's not this bad, but my brain imagined the creepiest thing. I imagine something akin to. Has anybody ever seen the Resident Evil dogs, where their like whole face just opens up? She said it like does this croak and it unfolds and folds back, and I was just like, bleh, bleh.
It just opens up.
Yep.
All right.
So Arafe sees this little creature. Like, she was at first like, okay, maybe these things aren't so bad. And then it jumped forward and hit Ark. So she is going to move forward. I should ask, drawing a weapon, is that an action?
Yes.
It is, yes.
Okay.
I will also say, because I forgot it's the top of the turn order, Essie at this point is kind of just like hearing some commotion and just very curiously coming up. And, well, also can't really see much, so she's going to join you guys there. Go ahead.
Same.
Okay, so
Same.
very confused. So as she's going up, she's going to pull the bow from her back and take a shot.
Okay, so it's one
at
action
this-
to draw your bow.
Yep.
Another action to take that strike. Go for it.
That's a 10, so I'm guessing that's a miss.
That is. And that's with everything added on?
Yeah.
Nope, that
Oh.
I'd be remiss not to check.
yeah. I chose a
Alrighty,
weapon that I'm not trained in. Because I wanted it.
Wanted it. I respect that
wanted
so
it.
much.
Okay, and then actually I kind of like that, like story-wise. Like you probably like headed out of your village and you've never really like had to use a bow, but you're like, I'm gonna grab this, I guess.
I
I have a long way to go, and there's things out there.
Right. Yep, absolutely. I love it. Okay, and then you have one more action, and remember you can attack again with a penalty.
I also moved, so...
Oh, thank you. Just kidding. Alrighty.
So I miss, I'm like, I'm sorry!
Hideaki.
So much happening. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I'll use one action to get up in the grill of Frogson. And Ark, you just hear Hideyaku's like voice. I think that's how it works. You know what? I think that's how it's going to work. And you just hear Hideyaku's voice, even though he was right over there. Need help? And I'll go ahead and strike again.
Are you is that the extent of your movement right where you ended the token, or you want to go
I have
up
5.
here?
I'm good where I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine where it's at. It's no big deal.
Is flanking a thing in...
It is a
Pathfinder?
thing here. It's handled a little bit differently. Instead of you don't get advantage or anything like that. Flanking makes the creature flat-footed to you, and
Right.
that only to you, which means that they have a -2 to their AC.
Gotcha. I think I remember reading that. Well,
Learning, remembering.
I'm gonna go ahead and re-roll that with my hero point. I think that's how that works, right?
Ooh,
Yes.
we're using hero points right off the bat.
Yeah, because
go
that was
for
a
it.
natural 2, so
Oh,
and that is not that much better.
we can't look bad in our first battle.
I know. Right? Well,
We are
Hideaki
looking
can. It's right. He's never done combat before. He's just like, oh, this works, right? Both Jacob and Hideaki are on the same page. That's a 12.
Alrighty. 12 does not hit,
I didn't think so.
unfortunate.
Oh, that's funny.
That's okay. That's okay. You guys are like, and this is a tiny creature, so it's kind of like just hopping out of your reach at this point. Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
funky, and also
Yeah.
it's like a towel, so it's weird. Like,
Yeah.
what do I hit?
So like I I have to like overdose his like jaws like hitting the ground, and I'm just like sorry.
Just clacks against like the
Yeah,
tiles.
like probably hurts the tile too.
Yeah.
What's the damage / insurance policy? I don't think we signed any contracts.
Oh god, that's
Are we
that's
covered
reviewed
by
at
the
the end of your
school's
year.
insurance plan?
Okay, that brings us back to Tal.
Okay.
And actually, real quick before Tal, that was that was one attack, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
My
so
evil
sorry.
one has 2.
Do you have to? I don't know much about summoners. Do you have to
Yeah.
share senses every turn, or
No.
do you stay shared?
No, it's just shared.
Okay,
It's
so
like
you
shared.
should have one more
Even-
action left then, because you
even
moved
even
attack.
even if that wasn't the case, I could still use one of my actions to have them attack, even if I wasn't inside.
Gotcha,
if I
gotcha.
wasn't sharing senses.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, I read some stuff. Wow, still terrible. That's a 15.
All right, so the second attack, is this a versatile attack? Do you know if it has the
It's
versatile tag?
no, it's still unarmed, but there is it's just like the damage is lower. Let me just
The attack is a
validate.
-5. If it's not a versatile attack, the second
Okay.
attack within the same turn is at a minus.
Got you.
Agile.
Okay, good to know.
Agile.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm using the wrong trait. My bad.
It's
And,
okay. We're all learning.
For most scenarios, I obviously don't know about Eidolons as much, but for most scenarios, natural and unarmed attacks are agile automatically because they're like part of your body. They're not a weapon being swung around.
Okay. We can triple check that afterwards. I just don't feel like looking
Sure.
that up right now. So
Sure.
go ahead and do it at a -4 instead.
Okay.
So what is it with
So
a minus?
that would have been 11. So definitely.
Okay. So yep. Also similarly, just like
Yeah.
right
Sorry!
against the tiles, and it's starting to like nick a little
Perfect.
bit. It's like that little
Perfect.
like on the tiles.
Yeah, I'm incredibly happy with that. I'm done.
Heck yeah.
Essie in the back is like, what are you doing?
Doing the laundry.
Shirt frogs.
It's like she sees is like the color of my eyes is gone, and I don't respond to her at all.
Oh goodness. Oh yeah, you don't even you wouldn't hear from
No.
your own body anymore.
No, not at all.
Cool. Next up, Arc 2.
No, Tao didn't go.
Oh, I hit next too fast. I'm sorry. Switching it.
I was remembering that I did in fact have weapons that I did not put on my character sheet, so this is
Oh, that's
fine.
okay. We'll make it work.
No, that's what I was doing. So thank you, Duval, for having an extra
Oh.
thing to do. So I had them on my character sheet.
It was all planned.
It was
Of
part of
course.
the plan.
We
the
did
entire
it
time.
before this. Yeah.
That's what it was. Yep. Okay, so
Somebody grunts in the music.
yeah, right.
Dragon. Breath.
That was Essie.
I'm going to. So my familiar. Oh, it does have a speed on there. Okay. Cool. You're a very small, so you can't move very fast. Okay. I'm going to.
That's
I
Arc.
think I'm going to move forward, like up to here. And
Sure,
as
yeah.
I'm moving, I'm going to use. I think it's one action to give my familiar 2 actions.
Correct, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, as I'm kind of running forward, I'm just gonna like hold my arm out, and Nim is going to run like down my arm and skitter over to the frog.
Sure. I brought Nim out here.
Yay, little white baby! And I'm gonna.
Is that where you want them?
Yes. I basically, Tal will telepathically tell them, go help! And, Nim is just going to, I think, so I don't know if they have any, like, actual attacks. I just have an unarmed fist
That's
attack
perfectly
on
fine.
their sheet.
Yeah, we'll say that they'll claw at them.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. something like that.
Yeah, now they are flanking with Overnosa in Overnosa's body.
Love that.
We have called it.
Love that.
So they're at a -2 to their AC. And roll the hit.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can do that. I don't know what to roll on this familiar sheet.
No worries. I'll pull them up here for you as well. It looks like we don't. Yeah, we didn't put any of their strength, dex, or con up in here, so it's not going to be.
Because they didn't. They don't.
They
remember.
They have the
this.
layout. That's perfectly fine. So, witches familiars are a little bit more unique, but they do follow the regular familiar like stats. I'll say.
Right. I remember us looking that the familiar stats only have like a couple, though.
Yep. So here, I'm gonna pull it up right here. What do we got? What do we got? Tiny familiar. Same level as you. We know that, so it's gonna get a +1 if it's trained. But senses.
Use the basic statistics for a creature of the familiar's kind.
Okay, so that's gonna be on me to pull. So what is this? We're gonna call it a ferret.
It's a ferret!
Okay.
Or if you don't have that, a weasel's very close.
If you don't have that, you can do a hamster, but
Why
make
not
it bigger.
both?
Why not both? It's a magical fey creature that just looks like a ferret.
Right?
All right, here's a little weasel.
It's got a lot of tails.
Do you want it to? We'll give it a little bite instead. So that's going to be a +7 to hit.
What? Evan.
A +7 to hit. Okay.
Dang.
Okay. Okay.
Dang.
I'm just gonna roll a d20 +7. Well, that's an equal sign.
That hits.
That's a 9.
Oh my goodness! Nobody can get this little froggy.
I love how Pathfinder takes care of like some animals. So I think I'm showing this to everyone actually. So enjoy this reading real quick. Weasels are strength 3, so when they attack, they get a 1d3 -4 for their damage, which means they'll always only do 1 damage, but then they just attach to somebody, and I love it.
Well, yeah, and
strong.
well, honestly, we're like figuring all this out. We're brand new to combat, so we're gonna get all the stats and stuff to be a little bit more fluid next time. But
This
I'm
will
not
go smoother
worried.
as we go.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
practice
Yeah.
combat
Very
tutorial.
first.
Practice combat. Tutorial combat, correct.
Oh no, the real frogs are
Absolutely.
next week.
I like
Yeah,
that. A
the
feral
actual big
ferret with
frogs.
fierce ferocity.
Oh my gosh,
Yes,
that's
it's
great.
me.
fantastic. Okay, so you gave one action for. I almost said Mr. Weasel. I am so sorry, Nick. That was very rude of me. To give them 2 actions. What else are you doing with the rest of your? Actually, they have. Do you want to attack again? They have 2. Oh no.
Well, their 2 actions was to move and then attack.
Yep. What else you got?
So, my last action, from this angle, I kind of have a better angle at this frog. What size is this frog?
It's a tiny
like-
frog.
Oh, so I probably don't. I don't necessarily see. Or
No, I'm gonna let you. It's hopping around. It's dodging these attacks. You can get a little look on it for sure.
Okay.
Ark will glance back and say, "Tao, do you know what this is?"
From where they're standing, they'll just kind of stare towards it and kind of like cock their head because they've seen a lot of things, but I don't think they've seen many things that are turned into paper and or towels.
Would you like to use your last action for recall
yes.
knowledge?
I would.
Okay. You want to do a crafting, or do you want to do Arcana?
Crafting.
Ooh, okay.
I'm a
Well, let's do
maker of
crafting.
things.
There you go. Heck yeah.
And then how do hero points work? Can you use them after you roll or before?
After.
After. But it's not advantage. It is like
Right, it's
you
like the
get
reroll,
second
yeah.
roll. Right.
Yep.
Yeah. 13.
13, yeah.
Oh.
We'll go with that. That's fine.
I mean,
whatever
you're
we
looking
get.
at it, and you've seen people like make origami shapes, and it definitely looks like a very adept origami shape. But you've never seen a little origami paper anything move around like this. So
Hal just like shrugs at you, Ark.
he
All of their
nods.
bangles just kind of jingle.
Hideaki from Overnoza, just like, can we focus, please?
I just imagine the scene going down like Obernoza and Obernoza
You're on
and
page
is it
124.
is it Nim? Obernoza and Nim are just like biting at this thing. Ark's like trying to keep it at bay with a book and is like, do you know what this is?
This is so anime, like for real. Anime, so anime.
All right. That brings us to Ark.
Okay. I'll ask you as a GM because I don't think these are rules. There are no rules written on this. Would you let me do another recall knowledge if I failed?
I'm gonna, to avoid like those indefinite recall knowledges, I'm gonna go with no.
Okay. That is fine.
It's like, yeah, like, have you encountered this before? Do you know what it is? And it's kind of
For sure. I'm perfectly fine with it. So Ark will spend one action to draw this. Basically, it, like, for all intents and purposes, it's a staff, but it literally just looks like a carved stick off of his back. Like a long walking stick that you'd pick up in the woods. So he'd use one action to draw that. Second action, he will swing down with it. And just try to smash the shirt frog.
Sure, just trying to give you some paper cuts, but yeah, no, go ahead, be mean to it. It's fine. What you got? A 12. And you are not flanking with it or anything like that, so
I'm gonna use another hero point. I don't care.
Let's do it.
18.
Do what you got him to spend.
There we
People
go.
can always give you more.
Yep. All right.
there, yeah, it you go to swing down on this thing and it hops right out of the way, and it's like proud of itself. It's like, you can't catch me, but then you turn right in midair and you're like, nope, I know where you're going. You've been watching its patterns. Go ahead and roll damage.
Not much. 2.
Alrighty. So we'll do that.
Ignore the arcane cascade damage for now.
Okay, so this frog, I just want to read the words that are in front of me. This frog.
Frog.
They say everything but.
Frog.
It is kind of looking around and it's like dodging left and right. As Essie called out a bit ago, like what is going on? And it like hears that for a second and it looks around and you dazed it a little bit with that, like, whew, you smacked it upside the head. We're going to it. So what it does is it kind of like hops backwards for a second, looking around, and then all it's gonna do is it's kind of like gonna, once again, it's jumping over here. It jumps away, trying to get back to like the laundry pile, and it unravels itself and it kind of like and sinks itself back into the pile of laundry.
Ark walks up to it and smacks it with a stick real quick. And then puts the stick back on his back.
Do you have a reaction?
I mean, I don't, but I had one more attack, if that matters.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so
It's
sorry.
okay. We can continue. I don't care.
Go ahead and roll it.
I was saying that more flavorfully, like if it's sinking back into the laundry is not a creature or something, unless we're continuing the fight.
Yeah, no, we'll go ahead and I'm sorry
It's
though for
okay.
skipping that. Let's go ahead and I'm not gonna get rid of the turn order, but for a moment, let us go out of turn order. And go ahead. So Art, kind of, you're following up right now and you're just kind of like smacking into like the laundry pile,
Yeah,
basically.
it's very lackadaisical as he just kind of follows up the frog and it's just like Just like bops it.
Yep. Okay. So you do that, and it kind of like spills some of the laundry out onto the floor. And go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Not good at this. 8.
Yeah, could it be one of these pieces of paper? Like, not paper, like pieces of cloth and stuff? Maybe. There's a lot of clothes here and different stuff.
Art turns back to everybody. It is gone.
What happened in here? And she comes in, she just sees you like pouring laundry on the floor, like she has no idea what just happened.
Art.
You need to do your laundry more often.
Oh,
It's alive.
It's alive? Excuse me?
Art picks up the old towel with his stick and like kind of points it towards Essie and says, "This was a frog."
Oh, you know what? Let's make a little recall knowledge on Essie's behalf here. Let's see what she knows.
While that's happening, I'm dismissing the shared senses and walk into the room.
Absolutely. So Essie kind of like looks and thinks for a second. Oh, I wonder if that was a spell skin.
A what?
They're harmless. A spell skin. And by the way, Essie's accent, it's gonna keep changing. I give up.
Hey, not a problem. She's from all over.
She's from all over. I have like so many images in my head for her, and all right. So, it's harmless. There's a lot of ambient magic here, and sometimes it creates things like that, and they're students. She kind of like calls out into the corner. It's all right. It probably just didn't know who you were.
Whoops.
Okay.
So
Don't worry about it.
Just
Is it just magic? Is it an actual creature or is it just magic? Is it an actual frog that got turned into a towel?
No. And actually, anybody that has not done a recall knowledge so far, go ahead and do that just in case. Now that she's kind of like recognized it.
And you said Arcana or crafting? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and I'm pretty sure you have to be trained in at least the skill to
Yes.
recall knowledge.
All right. I am
that's a good
using a hero point.
That's a 12 for me.
12? Okay.
Well, it was a 10. Now it's a 2. Sorry, 3. So it's gonna be a
All
no.
right. Well,
How terrible.
none of you have heard of this before. But Essie's just like, no. It wasn't a frog. The ambient magic just animated I suppose that laundry has just been there for a while. It's probably not anybody's at this point. If you see something you want. Anyways, is anybody hurt? Do you want to continue? We have things to go see.
Oh,
So you're
think we're off
telling
to a
me
great
that there's-
start.
I am unharmed.
You're telling me that there's magic that just lives?
and just gestures towards the laundry.
Here?
I
Regular magic?
that you will learn quite a lot here. I think you can ask one of the instructors to tell you a little bit about how that occurs. I don't know myself exactly. Although I think that some are able to do that on purpose, but I think a lot of the ambient magic does that as well. If you like magic, there's also this, and she gestures kind of back out the door. And she points kind of to like the wall at the end of this little hallway. And as you guys kind of come out and take a look, there is a well-rendered drawing on the wall, or it's kind of like drawn on a mask, and this mask is mounted to the wall. Somebody make me a religion check.
Okay.
That's trained.
I'm
Not
trained
art.
in that.
Not me.
Natural 20 plus 2, 22.
Oh,
yes.
Yay.
Well traveled, baby.
You 100% know this deity. This is the black and white mask of Nethys. Shout out to Archives of Nethys.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so this mask of Nethys, it's on the wall. It's not the largest thing in the world, but it's a medium-sized mask. And there's words actually kind of like next to it, inked on the wall, and it says, "All-seeing solutions. Pay in light. Let the darkness show wisdom." And she kind of looks at, like, she gestures to it, and she's like, "This is just something that the students enjoy sometimes. You can hold up. You could pay the mask. You put a coin in its mouth, and then you hold up a question, piece of paper on the written down, and you just put it up to the eye, and it'll give you some answers.
Ark,
It's typically gibberish.
Ark immediately pulls out a piece of paper.
Could you tell me what it said again, the writing?
Yeah, it says, "All-seeing solutions. Pay in light. Let the darkness show wisdom." And I'm sorry, you don't put it in its mouth. You put you put a silver piece, she says, in the slot of the white eye, and then you hold a written assignment or a question before the black eye. And then the mouth ejects a scrap of paper.
All right. Unless cut off, Ark is going to walk up after writing on this piece of paper.
Okay.
And he has written down, which room should I live in?
Amazing.
And he holds up a silver piece, casts light on it, and gives it to the painting.
Okay.
And then holds the piece of paper up.
You did what? You cast something?
I cast light on the silver piece.
Okay, and you put the silver piece in the eye?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a 1d10 and pick one number between 1 through 10.
6.
Okay.
4 is what I roll.
Okay. The little piece of paper, like, so you hold the question up in front of the black eye, and there's like a whirring sound, and this little scrap of paper spits out from the mouth. You grab it.
Yep.
You look at it, and it says, "Needs more green curry."
Art hands it to Essie and then walks back to his space way away from the painting where he was originally standing. And y'all probably, everybody but RFA, unless she's over here too, but everyone at least in this room probably here is useless as most of the deities.
Fighting words. All right.
What do I know about Nethys?
Yeah. So you rolled a natural 20. Let's give you some info.
Let's
Hold on. Let's go ahead and pull that up.
Who is this? Heck yeah. Also, my cat is very loud right now.
It's adorable. I'm
He is
here for it.
He is a sweet being who is very, very needy.
Oh,
So cute.
I love it.
What I know about Nethys is that's what we use to find out everything about this game. Archives of Nethys.
I wonder. So let's see. Is there a nice little concise paragraph?
Yeah, just kind of like what are their domains
This is
essentially?
Netis.
Like what
Oh,
not like
Oh.
everything about them, but like,
No, for sure.
social security
know.
number.
yeah.
Favorite ice
Yeah,
cream
social
flavor.
security number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their true name.
Street that they used to live on, yeah, their true name, yeah, all that sort of
That
stuff.
one's helpful. I'd like
Got
that
it.
one.
Got
Yeah,
it. Got it.
yeah.
Credit score.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Where is it?
Their first car.
Their password questions.
Yeah.
What color was their prom dress?
All the addresses they've ever lived at.
Is it? This is.
It's under
Nethys,
setting.
tell me about yourself.
It's under setting. You go to setting, you go to deities.
Oh well, thanks. Okay.
And then Nethys is in the inns.
Is it? Is it a high spell?
It is.
Is that how you spell Nethys?
Okay, so they are they have the domains of destruction, protection, magic, and knowledge. They seem very both. You know that like they're like the alignment which matters with deities in Pathfinder 2e is like spans from neutral good to neutral evil. But always neutral.
But always a balance.
Always a balance, exactly.
I love them.
Their edicts are like seek out magical power and use it, and their anathema is to pursue mundane paths over magical. That gives you like a sense of what they are about.
Ah, how interesting. How very good they fit into this school.
Yes, I wonder
Like,
why they're on the
It
wall.
was written that way.
And she, by the way, when you hand Essie the piece of paper, she kind of just snorts, and like puts it in her pocket to like throw away later. Like I said,
Perhaps they mean that you should take the green room if there's one that has a green bedspread or something.
If there is curry in one of the rooms, maybe I will pick that one.
perhaps you should bring some green curry into the rooms.
He just stares blankly and blinks twice.
She just
Maybe
laughs.
things are what we want
Specifically
to have
twice.
maybe we're having curry for dinner tonight.
Okay.
I don't know about the rest of you. I'm not tired yet. We might as well go explore.
No.
Yeah, we just got here after all.
Yeah. All right. Oh, I think I don't see any of the beads on you. Do you have the beads?
Tal starts
You
like
must-
showing off all of the bracelets and necklaces and everything that's in their hair and on their tail and on their belts. Which one do you want?
We just point to Tal.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
I've got.
So I think Takulu must have. Sorry, Teacher Ott must have forgotten. The GM must have forgotten. To give you these, but I have some as well. Here, and what she hands you is each a yellow and blue bead of made of durable glass. You should make sure you put that on your necklace. Do you? Oh, okay. So the way things work here, and you can see she pulls out from her shirt as well a similar necklace with you see a couple more beads, but you see the same yellow blue bead. These necklaces mark you as initiates at the Magaambya, and different teachers and different people will give you beads to symbolize different things. So we just ask that you wear those. So that particular bead is the initiate one.
Can we get like sometime down the line, like all of them?
Yeah, I mean, you can get you'll get more today, I think.
Oh, awesome! As you can see, I like my pretty colors.
Yes,
Me
I
too.
like it.
Me too. Me.
All right, come. Let's go back out into the rain, and let's head to the dining.
Inner monologue for Art. He's wondering if you can challenge people for their beads. because that's kind of where he comes from. So
Play Pogs! Let's play Pogs!
Let's go. Tal
we
is
play
already
rollies?
taking. Yeah, right. Tal is already taking the bead, and like
Wow.
they're taking off a necklace that they already have, and are like threading it onto this this like golden chain that they have, and it just kind of sits next to this little pendant that they have. And you tie it back on.
So
Hey
many.
Tal, do you have an extra necklace I could borrow for a indeterminate amount of time?
They
Like-
untie a leather band that was on their wrist, and it like unties pretty long. It was pretty thickly, covering most of their forearm. But they untie that and they hand it to you.
Beautiful. That's actually more than I expected. Nice.
Oh, yeah. If you don't like that one, I have my cat is trying to eat all of my necklaces.
nice.
So that's fine.
Nim starts like nibbling. It crawls back up on you and it just starts
No.
nibbling on the new necklace.
No, don't. No.
Art during all this takes the two beads and kind of like strands them through very loose braids on his scarf, and then ties a knot to make sure they'll stay there.
Perfect.
Arafe is realizing she also does not have anywhere to put it, so she's just gonna like take some of her hair and push it through there and tie it off at the bottom.
Oh,
So they just sit
Nice.
beads in her hair.
We can get you some more necklace strings. There'll be some at the store. Come. And if you guys want, you can grab the umbrellas that she handed out to you earlier as you guys head back out into the rain. All right. So, you start off heading towards the dining hall. I'm going to bring you to the Magaambya campus map because it's gorgeous. So if it matters to y'all, I'll ping this building right down here. That's going to be the Spire dormitory. The dining hall is actually just a shorter walk down to the kind of bottom right there.
Food is close by. This is good.
Food is close by, yes. All right. And so off you head. And the Magaambya's dining hall is large, kitchen warmed like facility. So it's kind of, there's a nice little temperature difference to walk in. There's handsome mosaics and plenty of seating. Right now it's the rainy season. But you can assume that typically people would eat outside as well. It's a gorgeous campus, right? And I don't know why my music isn't playing.
Playing now.
Yell
Is
at it.
Oh, there we go. We'll go Magaambya campus day. By the way, I forgot to shout out Sirenscape, who has like a whole music pack for this. So
Ooh.
yes,
Nice.
absolutely.
Shout out
them.
Sirenscape.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
All of this for Kindled Magic. It's fantastic. All right. So in the dining hall, you actually hear chatter. There are a couple like tables full of students all scattered throughout. Some of them think of this as a cafeteria dining hall that you would expect at a university style of school. Some people definitely camp out at the kitchens, like to study, and some are just like there with their packs of friends and things like that. But as you step inside, and Essie leading the way, she kind of leads up to where the kitchens are in particular, and she kind of knocks on like the wall, like the side door, like, Lamusi? And out comes a female human whose her name is Lamusi. She takes point here in the kitchen. She's the head chef. And she comes out. Oh, welcome, new students.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Excellent. May I have your names?
I'm
Hideaki.
Arafe.
Arc.
I'm Taliati. Oh.
Welcome. welcome, welcome. I'm Lamusi. If you have any issues here, come to me. We have a lot of volunteers around here.
We
Yourselves.
we heard like 2 words.
Okay. Just yell at me if you can't hear.
Yeah.
We have a lot of student volunteers who come around to help out sometimes. So you guys are just if you have your initiate beads showing, I see that. Just oh, actually here, and she pulls out some glass beads resembling like different pieces of fruit. Different fruit beads, and she hands them out to you. Says you can add that to your strings. These just make you know that everybody who works here is available. You're able to eat here, no worries. Like I mentioned, the familiarity will come with time. If anybody ever asks you a question, we don't mean any harm. Just flash the beads. You'll know that you belong, and you'll be just fine. But like I said, I do use plenty of student volunteers. If you ever have some free time and need to earn some money, you are welcome. Just come on by, and we'll see if we can't put you to work.
Hideki just raises his hand.
Yes, yes.
Two questions. One, it's I. First of all, this is a compliment, so please take it this way. I assume that this is very security related. Has there been like any security incidents that or it required this bead security setup by chance?
No, not recently at all.
Oh.
Just simply how we handle ourselves at the
Two
Magaambya.
things. Okay, cool. No worries. And then secondly, if you are in need of some foraging of berries and stuff, look no further. It's kind of my thing.
I can do that.
It's kind of our thing.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for your generosity. Right now, and she kind of like looks back into her kitchen, which is like bustling with a couple of like the people. Right now, I'm fine. And I think if you're brand new, you are to have your work cut out for you. When you have some more free time, by all means, come on by and check in. Thank you very much for the excitement.
Arc.
You got it.
Sorry. Arc again at this kind of just in the background of this conversation tilts his head and continues wondering why everybody tries to pick up extra jobs at a school. Because now he's met Moonshine Mango Cat, and these people want to help crafting and stuff, and he's just like, I don't know what's going on.
Kyle has a look of like perplexed confusion on their face as this head chef person is telling them that they don't need any help or anything. They're just kind of like,
This is what I do.
Arafe is a little confused because she was about to volunteer because they said they needed help, and then 2 people volunteered, and they said, "No, we don't need help."
Don't need help.
She's just kind of
No,
she's just like, okay.
I see the confusion on your faces. I simply mean that we are very open to utilizing student assistance to make some extra money. But please, I do want to give you some time to settle in first. This is, and she kind of starts like bustling about and kind of like leading a little tour around just a moment and kind of shows you like this is the area we fresh fruits laid out here if you ever need it, and just kind of like walks you around, heads like just walking straight around, assuming you will follow. And she kind of gives you the spiel. Students receive 2 meals every day. Dining hall opens from sunrise until 2 hours after sunset each day. As I mentioned, just come on in and we'll get you some food. And that really is it. Any questions?
No.
Yes.
This seems wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
we just come in and get food whenever we want. We don't have to.
2 meals a day.
Okay. When do we have to do the work for it though?
Oh, you are brand new, right? You're still in the initiate phase. When you start your week of classes, after this week, when you start your classes, not a week of when you start your classes after this week, you will have, your work. You'll have your days off. And she kind of looks over towards Essie. Have you taken them to get their allowance yet? And Essie kind of like shakes her head. Should you need supplies or anything else, and should you need some side money, we welcome students to tasks, odds and ends, but it's not a requirement.
Sounds like a good time to fill our extra time.
Exactly.
So we're in the
You
situation that
look
we're
very confused, dear. Is everything okay?
I think it's because we have too much time currently, and we're like we need to fill that first. I think it's kind of your perspective. We haven't done that yet, so it's like this like missing piece of the puzzle. You know what I mean?
Certainly. And like Essie's just like kind of steps in at this point, and she's just like, I wanted to finish showing you around campus, but tomorrow starts your first day of the service projects, so that'll definitely be some busy week for you before you start class.
Okay.
Makes sense.
All right. Well, we'll be off. Let me see. And like Essie kind of like waves. And you guys, unless there's anything else, head back out into the rain.
The name's Lumacy.
Lumusi.
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 Okay.
Hey, I got that right.
I almost did. I had 2 E's instead of an I.
Like, I feel like that's like the ttrpg self-challenge of how
It is.
close did I get to how it's actually
I
spelled.
do it all the time.
I get very far away because even when I'm finding my own NPCs as a GM, I just write them phonetically so I can speak.
I do not have that luxury. All right, so I'm trying to like get you guys this one as well.
Moosey.
That's Lumusi.
Oh, they're lovely.
Oh, hold on. I'll transition real quick. There you go. There you go, Chad.
I love
That's Lumusi.
Why is everyone so
Right.
cute?
By the way, every time I see her face, I'm like, she's a student. And I'm like, no, she's faculty.
I can see that.
likes
It's the
you.
bow. It's the bow.
It's awesome. Okay, so off you go from the dining hall. And let's see, where do you go? All right, this is a longer trek across campus, and she takes you through the paths into the kind of like the center, showing you around all the way into the top right. Up here. She says, so we're gonna head to the powder pile. That's what we call the student store. You'll get your stipend and everything, and get yourself sorted. This is where you'll go for supplies that you want on campus, and of course, I mean, you can always go down to Natambu to get anything that you can't find here.
Where's this again?
Top right. I will point it out one more time. There.
Perfect. Thank you.
Got it.
You're welcome. All right. Dodging in from the rain, you come into a little store. It seems to be like the there's a space in the front, just something like a storefront, but it's not decorated with anything. It's just this like counter in the middle with stuff lining the walls behind. And then there's like a little doorway where there's like extra like inventory in the back. But the area in front where you come in is very sparse, and then everything is kind of like behind the counter. And you walk in and you don't see anybody around. And Essie kind of like calls out, Zokan? That is Xokan. I will not make you spell that.
Nope, wasn't gonna get that one.
And just as quickly as that, up from underneath the countertop pops out a small male kobold.
Yes. Kobolds and goblins, yes.
Kobolds! Hello,
Hello.
welcome.
Hello.
And he kind of looks at
Thanks.
Essie and nods. New initiates.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect,
Yep.
perfect. And he jumps off whatever like little stool he has, goes into one of the shelves, takes out this like lump of something, comes jogging back, jumps up onto the thing and slaps a lump of clay onto the countertop. And then he starts taking little pieces off because he counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's like, here. And he hands you this little lump of clay.
Tal
Um,
immediately is just like there
Great.
for it.
Roll that into a bead and return it, please.
Tal's gonna roll it into like an oblong, kind of like looks like a giant, like a larger grain of rice.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hand it back.
Great. And he like takes a little needle, like sticks a hole in it to make it a bead for you, and takes it away. And in exchange, he hands you a little bead. It's a tan glass bead in the shape of a bulging sack. Great. Wear this with the other beads. This is the powder pile bead. The rest? And he just like waves.
Yeah, like he like Hideaki's lost in thought and just like you know how like sometimes you use your hands involuntarily and like he's just staring at this kobold. It's like, oh right, sorry,
It's
I
gonna
was
be a
actually
really long bead.
That's fair. Sorry, I'll start over. But I was appreciating the fact that like you also don't have spaces in between your words as well, audibly, just like myself. I thought I was actually unique, and I just wanted to say that I appreciate that about you. That's all.
Okay, can I have the bead?
Yeah, I suppose that's fine.
He takes the bead and immediately hands you in exchange a same like little bead in the bulging shape of a bulging sack. Waits for the rest of you.
Arafe was like making hers like as like the beads that they had seen so far that were just kind of normal. And then she saw Tal make something like not circular. So then she goes, looks at hers and she like kind of shapes it into like a little shape of off like flat heart.
Oh,
And then gives it back.
Like, you're very
hadn't even
talented. I like this one.
didn't even occur to her that she could make something that wasn't just a plain circular bead until she saw Tal do something different and was like, oh, something cute.
I want to do it. Yeah. And I love it. Okay. Arc, lastly.
Yeah, I rolled a 19 crafting just to see how I thought Ark would do. So with Tao going quickly as they did, Ark attempts to shape their bead into the exact like shape of the bead that they're gonna get. So like a sack looking thing with the clay. I would say it's probably like 85% there, and he hands it back like, here you go.
That's really good, Arc.
That works. And then he hands you the thing back. Okay. So you guys need your stipend, and he goes into the back 1 second and runs back. You hear some like shuffling. There's some clatter.
During all this, Art kind of looks up to everybody, including Essie, and says, do we just continue to get free things here?
I am so down.
Well, no. So you're gonna get an initial stipend, but then every month you get like 4 gold, as you for day-to-day expenditures.
Art kind of cocks their head a little. Is this
Tal has it like I think it has the identical like.
Yeah.
They're just mirrors of each other.
Everyone.
Is this school not difficult?
What do you mean?
Is the course load, the work, difficult?
Yeah, it really depends on how self-driven you are. it's very pursue what you're interested in.
He like nods a little bit, coming up from the cocked head, and says, I was just imagining many people, like ones I've met, that would collect these things and leave.
Oh, the Magaambya is pretty particular about who it accepts. If you all are here, then you passed, a lot of checks to get here. Or had some connections and people to vouch for you.
He nods.
Yes.
But kind of joining the cocked head party. But what if you want to know absolutely everything about everything? How long would that
He kind of like grins in that like a fellow a fellow knowledge. She nods and she says, "Well, I mean, this is a great place. If you work hard, you can learn a lot about a lot of things. And we have, libraries you can spend your free time in, and really it's there are expectations, from the teachers of what they want you to do and learn, and there's homework and everything, but yeah, I mean, pursue what studies you want."
Is this a timed thing, like you have 4 years, or can you stay here as long as you want?
There is you can stay. It really depends on your situation. I mean, there are levels. And let me pull that up actually to make sure I get it right. Um, Newcomers begin as initiates. So there's going to be a period of public service called the perquisite, which is what you're on, which is where you're going to be doing public service in exchange for the knowledge that you're getting and the stipend and things like that, which was explained to you. After which you become attendants. Once you're attendants, you are like you're a student. You're a student figuring out what you want to learn and things like that. When you've gained enough self-direction, like let's say you like figure out your major to equivalent it to like regular college, and you have enough self-direction, you can serve the school more broadly and you become conversants. 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 Conversants, you're still you still attend the Magaambya, but it's less like you're here in this campus studying all the time. You start traveling. You start going from the school on behalf of the school, advancing your personal interests. So like think of it as almost like you could study abroad. You could go on research excursions and things like that. And then when you really have demonstrated like, okay, you have mastery of the Magaambian techniques, that's when you become a lore speaker. And a lore speaker is like a graduate of the Magaambya.
Alumni.
In a way, though, you're never not a part of the Magaambya anymore at that point. So the first initiate one typically is about a year, though.
Makes sense.
Cool. All right. With the shuffling and everything, out comes Zokan running back up, and he takes out a bag, and he very carefully counts 1, 2, 3, 4, stacks it up and slides it to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, slides it to the middle. 1, 2, 3, and he makes 4 little stacks of 40 gold out on the countertop. Okay, this is your initial stipend. We have basic supplies here: parchments, quills, ink, other things as well. Just ask what you need. I will be happy to exchange it for a fair fee. As long as you're in good standing, you'll get basic supplies and 4 gold every month. Okay.
Okay.
And he jumps back off again and goes into the back. More shuffling. Comes back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he separates out 4 gold for you now each.
I'm like, as he's doing it, I'm just like nodding, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And he now has separate piles of 4 gold for each of you. All right. You have received your stipend, and now you have received your first month's supply. Does anybody need quills, ink, parchment, or other basic supplies?
Yes.
Tal's gonna lean over to Ark and just whisper, "Are those things that you need? Is that things that we will need? Well, that's things that we'll need, right?"
You see, out of character, Ark probably not the best person to ask this, but you see him kind of look down a little to Tal, and he says, "Will you need to write to remember?"
That's a good question.
Essie steps up and says, like, you might want to take notes and, if you have any, like, homework that you need to bring into the teachers, you're going to need some, like, you're going to write some essays, you're going to...
He nods a little at this, at Essie stepping up and says, "Yes, one of my compatriots back home often wrote when they wanted to learn. I do think you should get some."
And then if you want to write home too, you can write letters.
Okay.
How does Tal feel about that?
Tal is that little bit, I think, brings like a little bit of like a small glimmer of light back into their face.
Yes.
And yeah, they go up to the counter and like kind of put their hands on it and say, I would like some supplies, please.
Yep. Okay. 4,
Same here.
3, 2. You
Same.
okay. Alright.
Could I also get a necklace to put the beads on?
Oh, yep. And he just like reaches right under the desk, like right in the counter right in front of him, and he pulls out like a string. That's a pretty common request you can think. And jumps off again, rummages into the back, and he'll give you guys just like a basic amount of supplies of some quills, parchment, or whatever. And that is he has these stacked, and he's like, "Show me your beads." Great, here you go. And like he'll exchange it with that. Like, yes, did he just hand it to you? Yep. Does it seem to matter to him? No.
Yaki says like in response to that, to be honest, I've absolutely lost stuff in that span of time. So good kudos.
Yes, of course. It has to be done right.
I mean, it doesn't, but that's okay.
What happens if we lose our beads?
He narrows his eyes at you, Hideaki, and then he just kind of like turns slow to Arafe.
Perfect.
Don't lose them.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, goodbye.
I'm definitely gonna lose these.
I
know I would
"Don't worry,
probably
we can-"
misplace these, so I'm just like, oh no. All right, it was
I'll
clamped down. Now we're just gonna like tie it in a knot too.
Yeah.
This does not leave.
And like Essie kind of like as he just seems to be like, okay, you're done. I have nothing more for you. And he kind of like ducks back down to wherever he was like standing under there. She's like, don't worry, we can make it work if you need replacements, because teachers don't worry.
I mean, I'm not planning on it, but that's just kind of normal.
We're playing on paper frogs either, right?
Yeah. They shouldn't bother you anymore. I think they know you're students now.
Like how she's like, you're still on the beads? Like you're still on the frogs? Like, come on. Frogs were ages ago.
Now, there's a lot, and you have a long day tomorrow, so let's go back to the dorms, and we can talk a little bit about tomorrow. And on the way back, she just like explains. So as like you know, as part of the conditions of acceptance into the Magaambya, you're expected to perform the perquisite. That's a public service. She explains to you that it's to help with you also getting to know the area and getting to know and things like that. It's like a adjustment period on both ends, as well as like a little way to give back to the community. She proudly says like, well, as senior initiates in our dorm, I was asked to assist in the 5 days that you'll be given tasks for the perquisite, and introduce you to the Magaambya. I had a idea to also use the perquisite as a way to teach you all about the different branches of the Magaambya. So each day is going to be dedicated to a different house. Tomorrow, and she starts like, she's really excited about this. She introduced something. Everyone's on board, mostly. So tomorrow we're gonna start with the rain scribes.
Okay.
All right.
What are those?
Oh, yep. The rain scribes. Well, we'll tell you all about it tomorrow. And you'll get to learn a little bit about it, and you'll get a task to complete from those that are interested to be rain scribes in the dorms. So you get to meet people and get to know the area and everything. You will be headed into the city. So, get some rest, and we'll meet you bright and early outside the dorms.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
That means we have to choose rooms.
And with the daunting task of choosing rooms in front of you,
Daunting
we
indeed.
shall go to break.
All right.
Yeah.
Giveaway.
Yeah,
Oh,
but before,
Ha 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 ha. I totally told everybody to keep me honest.
Yeah.
I did it.
All right, we have two things that we're going to give away today as a whole. I know I mentioned the Roll20 Kindled Magic Book 1 like pre-made campaign. That's what we're going to give away here on break. But I also want to note that anybody who wants to stick around to the end, we will give away Spectacle Pathfinder2e spell tracker.
Arcane Spectacles Pathfinder2e spell track.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll get it. We'll get it with break.
That's the only thing that cut out.
Okay, cool. I'll just like really slowly say things.
Giveaway.
It's worse. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Waffles, can you put this word that I'm about to
I'm ready.
tell you?
I'm ready already.
Nope.
I
Okay.
saw frogs in there somewhere.
Yes. All right. Wait for it to be ready. Waffles, is it ready?
It should be. It's in the space.
I
I don't think I have to press
want one.
anything on the space, so it should
I
be good.
want one.
Please take a look at Star's beautiful, beautiful spell tracker. This is one of the wooden arcane spectacles spell trackers for D&D, I believe.
Specifically the Bloodwood one.
The Bloodwood wood.
Bloodwood.
And we actually worked with them, and they have one very specific to Pathfinder2e, which also has focus spells, and it goes up to, I can't remember if it goes up to level 10 spells, but it has a space for...
It's made for Pathfinder 2e.
It has a space for
That's what
cantrips, because
matters.
your cantrips level up and all that cool stuff.
Yeah,
Like, I need to buy
absolutely.
something new.
Okay,
Or win.
so
Darn.
the code you're going to use in chat, please use it only once. It's going to be Froggy, 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 because frogs, the poor frogs, what did they ever do? All right, so
Yeah.
Froggy in chat. We will announce it and roll it as we come back from break. So let's give everybody here a well-deserved break. Stretch your legs, refresh your drinks, be amazing. We'll be right back.
Heck yeah. Bye.
Be right back.
One.
Welcome back. Alrighty. We have a giveaway to do. So just real quick, if you have not had the chance, Froggy in chat Froggy in chat right now for your chance to win the Roll20 everything you freaking need to run Kindled Magic book 1 of Strength of Thousands on Roll20. So yeah, Froggy. Not reminder, I got a question I'm just gonna giving people a second or two to get Froggy in chat. I got a question as to what's on my face over break. So I just wanted to clarify these are drawn lines I did with makeup because I was actually inspired by a Bria Iyengar. I want just like I was like, I'm doing my makeup. I want to do something fun because I was doing Waffles' makeup. So I just did more. Why not? Nice. Okay. That's the it. All right. I think we'll roll it. Foggy Froggies, a go.
Go.
Is that me? Am I rolling it?
Yeah,
All right.
you're rolling it.
3, 2, 1.
Attack.
Attack! Yay! Congratulations!
Please shoot us a DM. Wow, guys, I'm talking great. Shoot us a DM, so that we can get that over to you. You can do that here on Twitch, or if you connect to us on Discord, Twitter, whatever way you can find to contact us. Feel free. We'll find you. All right. With that, let us settle in. Let us listen to the beautiful music of day as our dogs growl behind me.
And then a dragon appears.
Your alarms are,
Still
for
out
some
there.
reason, dragon growling alarm. All right, so I will ask, though, is there anything else anybody wants to do as you go back, or are you ready to get an early rest, pick your rooms, and start the following morning?
If we're retiring to our rooms, there's something I would like to do after the choosing of the rooms.
Absolutely.
I also.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Bring you guys back down to the Spire dormitory, and as you come back in, you can see which rooms you guys have. If you want to take the time, you're like, well, we got our stuff. We have time to unpack. You have the rest of the evening to yourselves. What's going through your heads? How has day 1 been?
So, are we in the privacy of our own rooms at this point, or are we still walking and choosing?
Let's do this. Taliatia. You before we as we choose your rooms and things like that, you get what's going through your brain?
As everyone is like walking back from this shop, this store, as they're kind of like milling about, Tal is kind of cheerful in this moment. She's thinking about the letter that they're gonna write home. And when people start like choosing rooms, they kind of get a little bit hesitant, and they had been walking around a little bit earlier looking at the different rooms, and they go to the I think they go to the top room if no one else has claimed it already, because it's the one that they see. It has a window, but also it's very small, kind of like the tents that she used, or the tents, and also the like wagons and bardos that she grew up in. So it's a little less different. There's still like a freaking plush bed here, and as they're in this space, the weights of everything that has happened in this day, which would not have been heavy on pretty much most anyone else, kind of hits her all at once. And they just like, they sit heavy on this plush bed, as they realize they're going to have to be here a lot longer than they thought. And they're not sure how to handle all of that.
Yeah, so you're looking through these rooms, right? And as everybody's been, you guys, I don't think there's any major conflict. We can definitely do rollies if anybody's like looking at the same room or whatever. But you find this room, you're like, oh, it's the smallest room. Okay, I'll put my stuff here. And you do, and you go inside and you put your bag down, you put your stuff down, and you're like, huh, there's a room. There's walls that are not moving. There's not gonna be... This is it. That view from the window is what you're gonna see every morning. This is different. This is weird. And the walls just should be comforting. You picked the smaller room because you didn't have a big space, but why is it so stifling? Why are these walls feeling so looming and tight? And the rest of you, if you're in your rooms, are you all like kind of separated out right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to find rooms.
Is this room available? Where Ark is currently?
There's... Well, 1 second. Sorry. Yes, that is available. Taliato, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It feels... As much as I think they have enjoyed their upbringing to an extent, they also haven't known anything else, and so they thought that this would be a new adventure. Anything, it feels a little bit like a cage, and not one that she's like stuck in. Like literally, right. I could walk out of that door whenever I want to, but they were thinking that this was going to be like, you know, maybe a week or two, maybe like a couple of months, not really understanding fully that no. You're here for an educate. You're here for a long time, and not really, you know, all of that with like everyone kind of, you know, saying it multiple times over the day. It really like compounding in her that I'm stuck here.
Yeah. The words of your grandmother do kind of run through in the back of your mind, which is like, maybe you can find some answers. And you remember like Hideaki going like, what if you want to learn everything about everything? And Essie was like, yeah, like gung-ho about that, and like there's library things like that. So maybe you can start here. And if you need to walk out of that room and walk around outside, then get that air, and maybe you can do that. But let's see maybe what tomorrow brings, and what you can learn, and what this school can do for you. Okay.
Tal's gonna write a letter.
Oh, okay. All right.
Which I will describe. You know where I'm gonna put it? I'm gonna put it in the Discord.
Oh,
Ooh.
yes. I
For
love
those
it.
of you who want to join and support us in the Discord, do that.
Heck yeah.
There you go.
What a great hashtag
Blam.
ad.
Hashtag not sponsored, but go.
What a smooth plug. All right. So we're gonna leave Taliata in her, maybe unpacking, maybe not. Maybe she's just there yet.
What am I unpacking? Is it things or is it emotions? Who knows?
Arcano los dos.
Love it. And so
played.
she's gonna be there. She's gonna be writing a letter. Arc 2, you were looking for the room. You were looking at kind of the one like right closest to the lounge area.
Yeah, I'm looking at like this tiny room kind of close to the lounge area. I think he's specifically looking for one with no windows. To remind him of his cave life.
Yeah. All right. Unless there's any opposition. Arc 2, you find yourselves for once like not with everybody, not being swept up into, okay, come here now, come this, You also put your bag down. Picked a room with no windows. You're used to that. You're not worried up with that. Smaller room. You're not too worried. But there's a bookshelf and a chest. And you're like, okay, all right, this is familiar enough. Any thoughts on the day?
Overall, not really. He seems to think that everyone that he's met thus far is interesting. Not a Minnesota interesting.
Say in the Minnesotan sense or
Nope,
everyone else's
nope.
sense?
An actual interesting. Like, okay, they pique my interest for interesting. Other than that, he'll take the time to enjoy it, wind down, like actually take a scarf off, not be the perfect person that he knows he is supposed to be represented as. And he only does this if the door locks, I should say.
Oh, interestingly, the doors lock from the inside.
Okay, so yeah, he'll lock it, and then he'll kind of like I said, dress down, like take the scarf off, get rid of his like weapons, his book, set it aside, all that kind of stuff.
Yep. You'll note though that it does not lock from the outside. So when you leave, you can install a lock on your own if you so choose, but that would be at your own expense.
Sure. And for anyone that's been paying attention, he did not buy quill and paper, but as he sets his book down and empties his bag, he empties out quite a bit of like quill, paper, ink, all that kind of stuff, as if he had already come prepared. And then, much like Tao is going to write a letter, for the sake of understanding art and everything else, I'll also put it in the Discord, but he literally writes, Iska, I have arrived. Class starts in 1 week. And then he says, Arc. And that's all he writes. And he begins to fold it up very nicely.
I can't wait for reading all that in the Discord.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Hideaki.
So Hideaki is going to choose this room here. It's fairly roomy. And he has the benefit of someone listening to his internal monologue. As he was coming back, the first kind of surface thoughts were, we need to talk. And as they enter into their room, like as he kind of closes the door and just kind of like pops down on the bed and like staring up at the ceiling, I suppose.
Okay, so I don't know if it was just you, or just me. Actually, just me. Um, but man, like things were going really, really well, and I think I proved myself quite useful. And then like just these little things started to kind of bother me, and I realized that all like everything that I've said and advertised is now going to need to be justified and proven. And I have all these people that need to approve me and make sure that I'm what I say I am. And he just kind of goes off and like he's in like this like really big like outpouring of like sudden anxiety
Anxiety. Yeah, yeah.
of like oh fuck we're like we're here.
Yeah. And Overnosa doesn't interrupt you. He's there. He's still manifested, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah.
Um and he's kind of more just like sitting because you're laying on the bed. He's probably just like curled up next to it or whatever, but
Yep.
like with his head kind of like on the bed, like just watching you. Um and he waits. Ark is not there.
For the
And he and
purposes
he and
of
he
camera.
waits for like this outpouring of like a waterfall. It slowly trickles,
Yeah, it's
slowly kind of.
like in each individual interaction, like specifics. Like let's take a brevity. I won't go into it, but you get the
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, but he just goes at it, and then when you finally kind of start winding down, Overnosa's like, you do not need to prove to them you are what you advertise. They can learn if they have set the wrong expectation.
The guy with the book.
The guy with the book.
Guy just nods and like it's like those words are washing over him a little bit,
Mhm.
and he'll sort of just he'll think about going to sleep for a second, and then sort of like when you're like 10 and you just have to like be extra when you're shooting up out of bed, like you're
Yeah.
and it's just like wait, and he's also gonna write a letter. It's because of course.
Maria, look what you've done.
Yeah, right, exactly. And he's got a pen pal that he would like to reach out to.
Absolutely. All right. All right, and we fade out of that
Discord.
era. Yeah, Discord. Arafe, what room would you like?
So she actually stood and watched and waited for the others to choose theirs before she decides to go choose hers.
Mm-hmm.
She knows which one she wanted though and was very happy that it was still there. So she will actually go down that hallway to that secluded one in the bottom.
All right. Yeah.
That has
absolutely.
the window overlooking the pond.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
And as she goes in, she actually doesn't even turn the lights on. She just closes the door behind her and lets the light from outside kind of come in through the window. She just unpacks some of her things, some of the more knick-knacky things that they say she got from her mother, just as trying to for remembrance sake. And she'll sit down on the bed.
What you feel like you're supposed to have for remembrance.
Yeah, what I feel like I'm supposed to have. And she sits down on the bed and just kind of puts her hand over her birthmark and goes, "We made it. We're here. The people here are interesting. I think I'll learn a lot from them."
And you don't hear anything, but as you kind of say, the people here are interesting. It's almost like your mind echoes that interesting that you remember hearing in episode 1, but you're not sure if it was like, did you hear it again, or you just remembering like.
Sorry, in the chat, no, it is not a Minnesota interesting.
And you look out the window and like you see the spires pond, and you watch like kind of like the rain hitting the pond, right? Continue, and I'll switch it to nighttime. There's the music. Yeah, and you sit there, and there's one thing that definitely notes to you. You might not pinpoint it. You might not quite identify the feeling, but there was something different about today. You've probably felt it through most of your travels, but most of your travels have been like, okay, goal, like get to the Magaambya. And now you're here, and like you had a day, you looked around, and your time is your own. There's not anybody telling you where you need to go, what your responsibilities are. Your time is your own, and it's interesting. As we continue to use that
The
word.
word in the non-Minnesotan sense.
That was California interesting.
If that isn't a Twitch alert, it absolutely fucking should.
And a Minnesota interesting.
Yep.
So
interesting.
Interesting. In what sense? Minnesotan or Californian?
Please choose.
Right.
So to kind of round it out, she will also grab a piece of parchment and a quill, and she's actually going to go underneath her covers and do something that she slightly enjoys, and to make that light emanate from herself and write a letter to Infar about today.
Perfect.
And I will also put that in the Discord.
This is my favorite thing. All right.
Additional content.
To whomst. All right.
Secrets.
I have so many questions.
Yes, good.
Excellent.
And I turn it back to daytime. As night falls, you find your what sleep you can, or you want, or however ends it up for you. But you do know that it's a bright and early day today.
Is it bright or is it raining still?
It's the kind of bright where it is still raining. I think in the morning it's gonna be like that cloud cover that is like it's still really bright because it amplified by like the cloud cover, but it's kind of just that drizzle right now. It's gonna rain in the afternoon for sure. Do you like my non-answer? How I said yes to
Well played.
Yes, it is bright, raining, and there's cloud cover.
There you
So
go.
Florida, got it.
So we're in the Midwest.
Yeah. 100%.
Yes. All right.
The sun is out and it's raining. What is going on?
And where is my thing? There we are. Give me a second.
It's 80 degrees, and later today there's a chance of snow.
Minnesota.
Oh, that one hit me hard today.
Yep.
South Florida.
I was telling Duval when we came back that my husband was like, you gotta go drive somewhere tomorrow. I'm like, yeah. He's like, guess what we're getting tonight? An inch of snow.
I don't miss it. I remember living in Minnesota, and it was 1 week of basketball shorts and try not to sweat at work, and then the next week it was wear gloves or your fingers will fall off.
I miss
Jesus.
Minnesota so bad. It's so bad.
You guys left at the wrong time though, because it didn't get into the 50s until like 2 weeks ago.
That's it. That's interesting.
All
There it
right, my
is.
friends. All right. The morning comes and you come to the entrance to the dormitories. Feel free to bring yourselves out there.
The proper entrance. Like the front door?
Yep.
Okay.
Ah. The green
as we-
shoot. Yep.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, just as we walk out of the door, I kind of peek at over nose that we almost ate paper yesterday. That's it.
And I think for character purposes, I will say that Ark was probably here, like if we had a prescribed time, like an hour and a half prior.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Gotcha. All right. So as you get there. The green shoots blossom in the rain. A clean-shaven dwarven man calls out with a smile. He gives a friendly wave. It was meant to be me and Ruth, but I guess not.
Can you repeat that?
Yes.
Yeah, we had the thingy.
Is this okay? Let me just check it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. It'll cut out if it'll cut out, I guess.
Okay.
It's just that last line.
Okay. It was meant to be me and Root meeting you, but I guess not. And Essie chimes in, who's standing there with this other man that you have not seen. I swapped with Anchor Root, and brushes it right alongside before turning to address you. Over the next 5 days, you will be helping with each of the school's 5 branches. Hybrim and Anchor Root to join the Rain Scribes. It's the branch that explores the world and helps other travelers make their way through uncertain territories. That means Rain Scribes have to work well with both nature and people. And Habram continues. Actually, let me make Habram big here. What is the thing? Shift C? Hey, there he is. He's a cool dude. I love Habram. All right.
The non-super bearded dwarf.
Oh my god, he's awesome.
He's super cool. Habram continues. We can really use your help. The Kafesi market won't deal with anyone they know is part of the Magaambya. Since you're new, you should be able to get in without a problem. You'll be looking for chickens.
What?
Did you know there's such a thing as endangered chickens? Of course, any chicken that comes too close to me is endangered. A farmer outside the Natambu, Bisola, said her family used to keep Ojafiri chickens. Said they could hatch anything, even a dragon. I don't know about that, but she wants to raise Ojafiris again. So we're going to get her some. Ojafiri eggs aren't very hardy, and the birds aren't good layers, so they mostly get put in soup, and now there's hardly any left. Well, we caught wind that someone at Kafesi has a few chicks. Go and bring some back.
Okay.
So we are to steal chickens.
Oh, no, gosh, no. And he looks at you concerned. And Essie kind of comes in, and she's just like, here. And she has a pouch of some coins for you. And she kind of like hands it out to whoever wants to take it. This is to purchase them at the market where they're sold.
Are we to receive like a wagon to bring these back on? Or are we supposed to just like put them over our shoulders? That sounds really dumb, but
Or a crate? How big are these chickens?
She kind of like both of them just motion like with their hands like regular sized chickens. You can use what you need, but we don't have a wagon.
I will grab the money. How much is in there?
20 gold.
Wow.
And they basically the Kafesi market, it moves around. So you should probably hurry. We don't want them to sell out.
oh, is this
Wait,
like a
the
really
market-
competitive market?
It's a traveling market?
Yes, they set up shop all around Natambu. It's different all the time, but like we said, they don't have the best relationship with the Magaambya, so you'll have to go on our behalf.
Oh,
Should we not say we're from here then?
No.
Tucks the necklace in behind his turtleneck.
Gonna remove the necklace and like put it inside the like corset thing that I have, so it's tight enough that it won't fall out. But I
Perfect,
Art,
yeah.
Art leaves his beads on his scarf because he does not plan to remove this scarf whatsoever. And just for the players to understand, he's probably not going to be the face of the party anyway, so.
But that's good to know. So you guys all hide your beads except for Arc 2. Okay. So anything else you need from us?
Breakfast?
Where should we bring them?
Here, back to us.
Okay.
You can.
Right here.
We'll be in the dorms. You can come to the dorms.
We're bringing chickens back to the dorms?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you recall, yesterday you did see Anchor Root with her own chicken.
Arc side eyes Nim.
I think Tal doesn't see it. Nim is like locked eyes on you though.
You're having a glaring contest with the ferret.
If the ferret could wink, it would. I have one more question. If we have if I wanted to send a letter to someone, where would I go to do that?
If you're going to be off in Natambu, you can stop by a post, and they could get it to you. I think there is a place here, probably the powder pile, can get your letter sent out here as well.
Cool, we can see that really cool kobold again. Awesome.
He grins at you. He's like, I do like that little guy.
He's very nice.
I've never been more excited to watch somebody else count something.
All right. You better hurry. Like I mentioned, it is a wandering bazaar, so you'll have to... And we can't have them sell out.
All right, time limit. Cool.
Sounds like we're skipping breakfast.
Yes, and sending letters. I think we should do that when we get back.
We have money now. We could get breakfast in town afterwards, right? Like a celebration breakfast.
Arc.
Abram kind of leans... Oh, sorry.
So I was just gonna say, Arc imagines attempting to corral chickens without a wagon and eat food at the same time.
And Abram though grins, and he's just like, the one time I went there, they had amazing pies.
Really?
Were they chicken pies?
They had meat pies.
So chicken pies?
Maybe.
You
That
totally
seems
ate
insensitive.
the pies without knowing what was in it, didn't you?
You never know.
He
meat
grins.
pies.
He's like, yes.
I respect you.
Beware the mystery pies. Beware.
Yeah, I was about to say, especially where Art comes from, like
Oh.
the tribe he comes from, like you know that if it's called a meat pie, you have no clue what's in it, and you don't ask.
Meat is in heavy quotations.
Yep.
First a strong reference.
I know, right? Spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So. Off you go. Off you go. You guys take yourselves out of the Magaambya and back into the town. Some of you have been around before. All right. So we'll make this interesting.
I love that.
Interesting.
We are, yeah. God damn it,
Farmers.
interesting again. I'm never gonna get rid of it. No, we're just gonna make the description of the podcast of this episode just interesting. Dot, dot, dot.
Interesting.
That's it.
Just to be interesting. Dot dot dot.
It is
Not the
the best
Minnesota
filler
way.
word. It's a great filler word.
Okay, so what are you guys doing? You're
we're
walking
just-
into Natambu, but you gotta
Yeah.
market.
All right, so we have no idea where this place is, right?
Nope.
Nope.
We're gonna. Have we arrived there, or are we still heading that direction?
You don't know where it is.
Oh, we don't know where. Well, we know where
We're in Natambu.
is. Right.
Natambu's the city
So-
as a whole. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna first start looking for signs. And then if all that fails, I will start asking people with reckless intent.
Okay. So, if you're gonna just start with kind of like looking around, seeing if you can find it or signs that direct you to it. Let's go ahead and start with a perception check.
Great.
Is anybody aiding?
No.
I am gonna go ahead and I'm gonna place my hand on Hideaki and go, you're gonna figure out where it is, and this is gonna go great. And I'm gonna cast guidance.
Excellent.
Yeah. Like there's like this like shock initially, and then like yeah, it will. Yeah, it will.
Perfect. By the way, Hideaki, is over Noza manifested right now?
No, actually no. I did talk to them, so I would say yes. Actually, yes.
Okay, that's perfectly
Yeah.
fine. All right. So aiding typically in Pathfinder 2e, go ahead and roll. Am I could 10? What's it?
No, that's Starfinder.
I knew I was confusing it.
Aiding in Pathfinder 2e is actually quite hard in the early levels, so it's DC 20.
Oh.
Typically, and you can critically fail, and if you critically fail, you hurt the person. Not like
That should be fun.
not like
My intention.
not like HP, but you harm their intent.
Is it a
Excellent.
-2
Perfect.
It's
or
a
-?
-2.
Well, I rolled really
Perfect.
high, so we'll see.
Yeah,
how
and
it
you get a
Perfect.
+1 from me.
Yep.
In this case, DC to aid, just because you're really looking around, it's going to be 15.
Okay.
How do I aid?
You roll your own check.
You roll the same thing though.
Oh, what did you roll?
So
Perception.
Got
I
it.
roll-
Got it. Got it. Not the number, but what
Okay.
did you roll?
I rolled a perception check.
Okay. Perceive. 19.
Oh,
I rolled a dirty
nice.
20.
Dirty 20. And Arafe. Oh no, you just guided.
I cast guidance.
Yeah. That's
Perfect.
That's why it's a
Since
dirty
I'm
20
getting
instead of a
used to
19.
you as a GM, can I ask how you would like to resolve this? Would you like to know like what Arc is doing during this time, or do you want to resolve the roll first and then find out other people?
Well, since it sounds like you're doing something else, what?
Yeah, so Arc will kind of watch everyone do their thing, like Tal and Hideaki, or Hideaki's looking, Tal's helping, and then watches Arfe cast a spell. And Arc will kind of come up to Arfe and tap her on the shoulder after the spell, since she's not really helping look as much, and say, how would you locate something if it moves and is not on a map?
Well, I mean, there may be signs sometimes when things like this are around. They'll put up temporary signs to let people know where to find it. Otherwise, there may be people around that may know where to look.
He gives a very quick bow, says thank you, and he doesn't trust the signs part, so he's going to look for people to talk to, even though he's very bad at that. So that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. So you're gonna take the gather information action.
Okay.
The gather information is going to be a diplomacy check. However, you are also the one who did not hide your initiate beats.
Yep.
And that
Whoops.
Mr. I'm not going to be the face of the party.
Whoops.
All right.
He's
Decided to be
learning.
the
He
face.
doesn't know any of this stuff. He's learning.
No, perfectly fine. Just know that does, affect your DC, but absolutely.
Sure. I mean, I have a
Go
minus
ahead and
2,
gather.
so I don't expect anything from this. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be diplomacy.
1.
Oh my god, that
Not
is
a
so-
natural one, dirty one, because I have a minus 2.
You rolled a 3 minus
rolled 3,
2
yeah.
for a 1.
Right.
That's
Gorgeous.
So
So
beautiful.
sad.
Gorgeous.
So apt.
So he just like nods to Arafaz like, okay, I will go ask then. And then begins just kind of walking around, and like literally the first person he sees, he's like, do you know where the moving market will be?
They like what you find was actually like a person who was ushering their like kid out from the rain, being like, come on, we have to go. And so like they were busy, and they were, like you look at like a busy street, and like, okay, there's some people that are probably not going people that you want to approach because they're like on a mission. Think like New York City streets. Yeah, that's the person that you walk up to, and they just kind of like aren't stopping to move as they usher their kid forward, and they kind of look back at you and just like nod and keep. They just don't even answer.
Perfect. Yeah, I imagine. Sorry, I imagine he like begins to walk up to a couple of people with like hand up, and then just never gets to ask the question again, and comes back to the group.
So something to remember about we're just to kind of like set the perspective, we're not in the type of combat which is like, you know, every 6 seconds. That's not what's happening right now. This is sort of general, like, okay, you're going down to the city and you're overall looking. So this happens. Arc 2 is just unfortunately does not know how to approach the situation, but the rest of you, Arafe, with that guidance of like, yeah, we'll figure it out, we'll find it, and Hideaki with this like renewed confidence that with Tal also kind of, you know, all you guys just walking together around the city. It takes some time. So 2 hours actually pass as you go through the city. But you're successful. Your perception check is successful. So eventually, finally, like you find what looks to be potentially like where the market had been in the past, like a good space for a market, and you find there a sign like tacked up that says where its location will be today.
As we walk up, having like the 2 hours, like I'm like leaning on my staff at this point. They really need so much better, like much better signage. Wow.
Well, sometimes you just have to rely on word of mouth. I mean, that's kind of how my family did most of their business. You have to go from town to town, and yeah, I'm from it's a circus that travels around, kind of like this market, but you know, bigger. As in, we travel different places.
I reach into like my satchel and take out a small book. Look at the word circus. Process its meaning. Close it. Put it back. That's amazing. Seriously? Did you like do tricks and stuff?
I mean, I mostly did, and they'll just like do like a cartwheel into like a back handspring and like land on one hand and do like some splits and all that sort of stuff. And
Make
all
an
the,
acrobatics
all
check.
Oh no!
Yeah, of course.
You think I'm gonna pass that up?
Not this, not this.
Called out.
The GM.
Tip the GM, always tip.
Okay, all right. Yeah, no, it's like it's muddy and it's rainy. So you know you're a little like hesitant to really land in a puddle, but
Yeah, and it's like
it's up.
it's like not. I'm used to like kind of softer, softer places.
You do catch some eyes of like some of the people that were like walking through.
I
kid like tugs on their mom's like shirt. It's just like
I'll land and like point, and then I'll do like a very deep bow.
And up and over, like
Yeah.
oh,
yeah, that was
Things like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Not even close.
I mean, I could teach you sometime if you want. I could
That's
try.
really impressive.
Kind of pointing over, and I was like, he's way more flexible than me, so.
Well, I mean, its flexibility is only part of it. I mean, there's some stuff that, like, my brother he did other sorts of things, and my uncle did other sorts of things, and my grandmother did other sorts of things. So there's, you know, and then everyone else kind of pitched in their own kind of way. You know, the circus is like a big family, you know?
Cannot wait to learn more about this.
meanwhile, like it's still raining and you guys are getting like so excited.
Very soggy.
I am tunnel visioned as hell.
Yeah.
At the word family, Ark will kind of perk into the conversation and say, was your family the circus, or was the circus your family?
Kind of, both, actually, both. My So my family is most of the circus. My grandmother runs the circus. And then there are others who have come to join and be. Some of them leave when they find better things, but while they're there, we treat them like family.
So, those who are not your own are your family in the circus.
Kind of, you almost cartwheel up next to like a little post, and then you take that bow and you look to your left and you're like, oh, here's the notice.
Almost into the side, like what?
It's slippery today.
So we'll say that with everything and with information, it takes you like the full 2 hours, not just find it, but to get there. So it's 2 hours, and you are at this bazaar. This is a fun place. So this place is, it's simple wooden tables sprawled out throughout that serve as like the stalls. And they're sheltered from the rain by a cluster of like large, colorful umbrellas. So while playing underneath, the light kind of plays with all the colorful colors on the umbrella, and it makes it like a nice little easy reprieve.
I'm sorry.
I got most of it, but
I cannot, unfortunately, with like how my ears work. Can I ask you to repeat that?
Yeah, it's comprised of simple wooden tables that serve as the stalls and sheltered under like a cluster of large, colorful umbrellas that give you both a reprieve from the rain and some exciting like it just, there's a tone to it from under like all those colors that as the light fills.
Yeah.
Tal is at home here. Is very happy.
I have to imagine there are several like stalls and stuff.
Yep, absolutely. And because you guys were successful in finding it, as you find the location of the market with a simple like question for like the chickens, you are directed to one of the stalls. Here is, where is she? Okay. Here is a merchant. She is a stern-faced woman. Her head is shaved bald, and she has huge hoop earrings in her ears. And you see there, behind her, a little pen, are some chickens.
I'll kind of look to Arafe. Since you helped me find it, well, everybody helped me find it, really, but that boost, I think, maybe is what did the trick. Do you want to do the honors?
Sure, I have a couple tricks up my sleeve.
Do you?
So I'm going to try and make it so this person cannot see me to the best of the ability, because I know they said they don't like the Magaambya, so I want to try and make sure no one sees me cast anything.
Okay.
But I'm going to cast Read the Air. So I'm able to survey social situations to change my body language and demeanor to match that of the area. And that gives me advantage on recall. No, sorry. See, it's part of this cast. Recall knowledge using society to get information about the social situation, and I gain +1 to my next diplomacy check to make an impression.
What's the duration?
1 minute, which is why I waited until we were going to this place.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So can you? The sleight of hand, I think, is thievery. What components of the spell? Is it like somatic?
It's
verbal?
somatic and verbal.
Okay. So you're gonna try to like duck behind somewhere. Go ahead and make me a
There's stealth and thievery.
I know, I'm trying to think. Go ahead and make it stealth.
Okay. That's a dirty 20.
Nice.
Okay.
Ark is also going to be doing something during this time, but feel free to go through your stuff.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of like duck to the side of the stall or something, kind of hide behind a couple people that are currently bartering, and you go ahead and cast this. what are you doing meanwhile, Ark?
Is there any chickens that are purchased during this time?
You do see a couple people at her stall.
Okay. If there's any coin handed out during this time, Ark would like to just as secretly cast a cantrip called Approximate.
Are you trying to see how much they're paying?
Basically, yeah. He just wants. So just to give you the scene that I am imagining, he is going to keep his back turned and act as almost a bodyguard almost the whole time, kind of 10 feet away, but in earshot to be able to hear what's going down. And he just wants to have this chance to make sure they're not overcharged. Like if they happen to see we're from the Magaambya and they say 10 gold instead of 2 or something. Like.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. What are the components for that? Is that also...
It's also somatic and verbal.
Go ahead and make a stealth.
I shall.
And so I shall.
14. Should I use my last hero point? That's the question, right? It's a natural 7. Yeah, I'm gonna use my last hero point here.
All right.
Stop loading music.
Oh, look at that.
24.
Amazing.
There you go.
Hey.
Hey. Ark's good at one thing.
Why are you good at that thing, though?
Sus.
Sus.
All right. So you similarly kind of the RFA duck behind, and you're like, whoop, and you kind of swoop to this other side of the mark of the stall and do the same thing. And how is this one action?
One action.
So it's instant, and you need to wait for basically a moment where you see money exchanged.
Yep. So if money is never exchanged, he doesn't cast the spell.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and basically say like you're the equivalent of holding your action, right? Waiting for money to change hands at this stall. Okay. All right, RFA, you success. Is doing anything else? You can go ahead and approach.
Tal, by the way, is not at the stall. Tal is distracted by literally everything else here, and as soon as they got underneath the umbrellas, completely forgot why they were here, and is just in the lights, colors, sounds, smells everywhere else.
Amazing. Okay. So RFA.
Okay, so I make a recall knowledge check using society. That's
Sure.
not great.
You're gonna try to like get the lay of the land.
Yeah.
How do
Okay, here's
people do
hoping
things
because I have a
here?
0 to this.
You got this.
I'm going to use a hero point because I am not accepting a 1.
Woo.
That'll be a 17 instead.
Okay.
Much better.
All right. So you take a second, both with the kind of heightened magic that you've kind of summoned to help read the air, and you make that recall knowledge as part of the spell. Okay. So you're kind of like you watch first. And you're reading body language, and you're reading the air in the conversation between these people. And because everybody's out of hero points. Except for Tal. She got one. They got one.
Yeah,
This
earlier
session?
today. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay. So yeah, you're like, okay, I can vibe with this. So you're gonna go up there kind of with the same confidence that you just saw one people that chatted approach, and that person, like, you wait for them, they talk for a second, they're like no, and they walk away from that stuff without any money changing hands yet. So yes, you want the chickens?
Thinking about it. Depends on how much they're worth, how much they are.
4 gold.
4 gold. How many are there?
So let's see. It's a very valid question. Currently there are 6.
Okay, so that would math in head 24 gold total.
As a reminder, you were asked for very specific chicken.
True. Those were the
No, as many
Gelfury?
as you can get.
Oh.
As many we can get.
Ojafiri.
Ojafiri?
Yeah,
Oh,
I will
oh.
actually.
Ojafiri.
Oh,
Funnily enough,
theory.
I have a handout for this. Because why don't I have a handout?
Oh,
They're purple.
Got them.
No, hold on.
Yes, Jacob has said that about every NPC, but it's fine.
but they're purple chickens.
But
What
they're
is a
purple
And they
purple
were-
chicken?
They were described to you, right? They should have white faces, dark blue feathers, and lavender combs. And they asked you specifically to bring back like at least 4, hoping for like 1 male, 1 female. They looking to breed them
Breed, yeah.
at the farm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. So how many fit that description?
Make a perception check.
Negative
So many
1.
chicks. So many chicks.
Can I help try and aid that? 'Cause
Absolutely.
I'm-
This is going to
I'm-
be a regular DC 20 to aid.
Okie dokie. This is really going to be hard.
Sometimes it makes more sense to just make your own perception.
Natural 20!
That's actually a critical success for an aid, which is a
Critical
plus
success.
4 instead of a plus 2.
Amazing.
That is
Which would have made it a 24, by the way.
So what did you get, Arafe?
16.
Plus 4 now
Oh, so
for
20.
a dirty 20.
Incredible.
All right. You look through them, and you look through them with a keen eye because you want to make sure
Mhm.
you are getting the right chickens. Looks like all of them. Looks
Okay.
like these are all Ojafiri chickens.
Is this all she has there? Or does she have other
she's selling
wares?
chickens.
Okay. So Arafe will just kind of look and go, okay, 6 chickens. Look, it's raining. You look a little miserable, kind of like you want to go home. How about 3 gold and I buy the lot? 3 gold each.
Go ahead and make diplomacy, right? This would be
Yes!
do
I get a
you
plus
have
1.
do you have mercantile lore by any chance?
I have no idea. How would I know that?
Probably. If you don't know it, probably not. It would be very specific.
Yeah,
Okay.
you would have to pick it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, probably not. I would know.
Pathfinder gives.
I have circus lore, by the way.
Yeah,
that's
Pathfinder
the only
gives
reason I
very
knew lore
specific
exists. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. That I'm guessing not then.
I almost took mercantile lore. That's what it
Oh,
was.
this close.
They
This
But-
would be. It's okay. You're not even there.
they help
correct.
in specific
Correct.
situations, but when you get to use them, it's amazing. Like
The
honestly,
DC is always less
Way
because
less.
it's like specific information that you have.
But diplomacy is easily my best stat.
Yes.
Great.
So I will have a +8 to this roll.
Oh, yes.
You also have a +1 status bonus.
Yep, so that includes that. So
Oh.
I have a +7 naturally, and then I have that +1 status. So
Gorgeous.
that will be a 26.
Ooh, easy, easy.
Then you get to go home, pockets full of gold, and we can take the chickens. Bulk discount.
So, as she sits there and looks at you and thinks, somebody else comes up, slaps some coins on the table. And she looks. She goes, takes it, and says, 5 chickens. $3 gold each.
Fair enough.
All right.
Takes the 15 gold, puts it down.
Okay. So basically she sold 1 chicken, like, to kind of spite you.
I figured. I figured. But that wasn't worth the fight. We got what we came for.
Now, I will let Waffles, if you want, that would be the first time that money changed hands. Do you want to pull that off anyways?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. They I mean, it's approximate, which I know is kind of weird, but it's like, yeah, you think of it, it was like light. It was like 4 gold, with the asking price, basically.
Okay.
That's why she didn't. Yeah.
Phew. It really sucks that he has his beads on, but they're also very much a perfectionist, and just the fact of losing one chicken really gets on their nerves, like as he's hearing this go down behind his head. So he kind of like turns on his heel, and having not bought anything from the store, slaps down 6 gold and says, I will take the last chicken.
Wait, what do you mean? So
He wants to,
Trying to
he wants to
outbid
overbid the other
outbid the
guy
other
for the
person.
1 chicken.
oh gosh. Okay.
I will say though,
Ignoring
Arafai
her,
will,
that's already happened. Yeah.
Yeah, Arafai will notice. So is Ark's necklace visible?
Yes.
So
It's
I
on
will
his
ki-
scarf, and he's not hiding his
Yeah.
scarf
Yeah.
or anything.
So I will kind of look over, and just with the realization that, oh crap, I'm just gonna glare at Ark too.
yeah.
Like, and just in an attempt to be like, please don't think we're with him. I don't know you. This is what we're gonna go with.
And I think
I will apologize to Ark later.
I think from Ark's perspective, he doesn't notice that you're doing anything, and he's so one-minded focused in this to just get that chicken that he's not trying to deceive this person into thinking that you're not with him, but he also is not like, hi friend.
right.
So he
right,
just
not
slaps down
encouraging
the
it.
gold and is like, I'd like this chicken.
I just figure as part of that read the air, I'd be like, nope, I'm not supposed to be in
Yep.
association with this person.
Absolutely.
Love that.
So she.
Hideyuki's like right in the middle, just being like,
She like 1 second, and she will wrangle up 5 chickens and kind of like looks at you, and she's like, you're going to carry them yourself?
I mean, do you have a crate or something?
we have a dragon.
Or do you have like I'll turn to Duval, or sorry, I'll turn to Hideyuki, and I will look for Tal and realize Tal
Whoa,
is not
Duval.
there. I know, right?
Yeah, Tal is
Freaking-
very small too, so
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if you're
I assume
like,
Tal's just gone.
Yeah.
maybe you'll see like the flick of a tail, and that's like it.
Yeah, like
I'll be like, all right, do you like have a rope or something that we could maybe like tie around each of their feet so we just can keep them together? We really should have thought this
1
through.
gold, and I'll give you crates.
Done.
whoa, that's hold on. That seems really excessive.
It's
That's
fine.
like 2 copper, okay? Like I wasn't trying to get involved. That seems
1
like a lot.
silver.
Okay.
Even
that's-
better. Arafai is just like,
Okay.
not my money.
So
fair.
she puts like 2 chickens in 1 crate, 2 in another, and then like she only gives you like 2 crates, and then you have 1 chicken that you have to like hold.
Just carry it by its feet upside down. That's how we did it.
Oh my god!
That's how you carry them.
They don't go anywhere. I mean, it's true.
Then they just kind of relax and they don't freak out. They're fine.
Yeah, that's just
It doesn't hurt them. It helps. They're just calm.
it helps with anxiety
Really,
for chickens at the very least.
Yeah.
Just for chickens.
People, no
Please
way.
don't
What?
just do that.
Upside
Do that
down.
for
It has
people.
the exact opposite effect on
Correct.
people.
Absolutely correct.
You hold people upside down, they get more anxious.
The more
Yeah.
you know.
And as she slides these crates over to you, and then she turns to Ark with this other guy who was not like, he was clearly been to the market, knows how things goes, was like literally thinking for a quick trade, and he's just like, what?
I would like the chicken for more than you placed down. He very naively looks at the trader. Is that not how it works?
And the guy like tries to interrupt. I was here first, and then like
I was gonna say,
McKenna's
technically,
like-
I was there first, but you know.
Honestly, not to interrupt too much, but Art would immediately look back and say, I do believe she was here first.
And McKenna like shrugs and hands the guy back 4 gold, takes the 6. Okay. And he lets up this like kind of like string of curses under his breath and like runs a frustrated hand through like hair and like turns around to go like find another stall. And you'll take the last chicken, yeah.
Angry
Okay.
market goer will remember this.
Yep.
Yep.
That's the big bad right there. We just missed him off.
have a rival. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And actually-
first enemy.
We did it.
He as he kind of
2
walks
episodes.
by, he does note the Magaambya beads. And he just like he mutters like Magaambya students. And just
I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling students.
Art very very naively says, have a good day.
he walks up, he's ignoring you.
Because you said the 2 chickens could fit in 1 crate.
Yeah.
Is that right? So this is not how we did things back at home, and I'll put 2 in, close the thing, and just don't bite down too hard. And I'll just look at the chickens. Don't worry, it's fine. It's fine. Don't freak out. And I'll put Lim right into Overnose's mouth.
And you guys are
Oh
worried
my
about
God.
me carrying it upside down.
No, this is perfectly fine. I'm kidding. Okay.
And that, my friend,
All
is
right.
why you keep your Eidolon out.
So you are at the market, and not to
Oh,
I didn't
lost
quite
myself.
mention this, but the powder pile. What?
Cut,
What?
You got it a lot.
We lost you for a
Cut
sec.
Completely.
We are at the market, but
Yeah. I kind of brushed by this at the powder pile. There's basic supplies. So I will show you guys how we typically handle that. You can use Nethys for this, but there is like basic items that are found at like a type of place. Basically, most things you can get there. Anything that they do not have though, like weapons and this place probably would. This market, on the other hand. So if there's anything else you want to do, you're free to do some more common shopping. But I will ask anything in particular. We'll handle off screen. Except Tal, you've ran off. What are you doing?
Can't wait.
Tal is looking for food. And then also is looking for more baubles and trinkets to add to their collection. Because everywhere that Tal visits, Tal gets some sort of little trinket to add to their jewelry or to their, belts or something, or a new piece of jewelry. That's why they have so much stuff on them.
Cool.
But they also know that a place is best known by eating the food that comes from there, and she has not had the food here before, so she is going to have some.
Absolutely. So it's like there's like sections in the market. So you go to like the food stall. Probably right off the bat, your nose leads you there.
Oh yes, absolutely.
You see the meat pies that Habram was talking about. There's one stall. There's obviously competitors and all sorts of options. There's fruits, all sorts of different fruit stalls and things like that. Honestly, most things that you can imagine, you're welcome to. And your beads are hidden, so it is like they have no problem with you. They're happy for an eager customer.
Excellent. I want to find a fruit that I've never seen before, and I want to find a baked pastry good that I've never smelled before.
Yeah.
Those are the two foods that I want to get.
Absolutely. And you do like you you actually probably like go up to one and be like, "What's the weirdest fruit?" or something
Yes.
like that.
What is
And
something that you can only get here?
and so he'll like, and maybe some of these you do know, but he'll because you do travel a lot, you've maybe seen them on the rarer occasion, but they're relatively fresh here. And so you'll find a variety of fruits. One, we'll pull this off of like the durian. It smells really bad. And but they're like, but try it, and they even like cut you a slice to like to taste and
Are you talking about
it's-
jackfruit right now?
I am talking about jackfruit, not durian. I'm sorry. wrong fruit.
They're weird smelling fruits.
I didn't prep this.
What? You didn't have a whole
I
market
know.
planned out already?
How dare you?
You
Every
don't
fruit.
know me. I
did you
need to
not
know where
think
they
about
all
the fruits?
came from.
And then you also find this like pastry that is it like they give little it's in like a little paper wrapped thing and it smells interesting. It's like it smells like savory and sweet. It's definitely like sticky and it has like the paper's kind of getting soaked with kind of like syrup or caramel or something. And it's this like little like sponge like bake with a layer of nuts or something on there that's like soaked through with something.
Baklava.
I'm here for it.
I've never heard
Delicious.
it pronounced that way. That's a new one.
I call it baklava.
It's both.
Baklava.
It can be both.
Yeah.
To be honest,
it's
I like y'all's pronunciation better.
At first, I thought you
It's
said
in Hebrew.
At first, I thought you said balaclava. I'm like, wait a minute.
Wait
that's
a
not food.
second.
Not quite.
And then I'm going to find. I want something shiny. I'm trying to find the smallest, or rather the most. How best to describe this? The most homely looking stall that has just like little. Looks like handmade things, maybe one that doesn't have as much attention. Not the like gaudy, shiny, sparkly front of like main street. I want to find like the small independent artists in the back.
Support small content creators. Okay.
Correct.
I don't need no man.
So actually what you do, you kind of, you leave from like the food area to the craft areas. You see and it's funny because there's like the jewelry store, like stalls where lots of shiny like metalwork and things like that. They seem bustling. But funnily enough, the funnily enough, where there's one kind of rougher dude selling like armor and metalwork, not jewelry or anything like that. And you almost walk by this, but you see what looks to be like a young girl, like almost like probably their daughter or something like that, kind of sitting to the next to this with a little crate in front of her, with like a little napkin that she put out, with like her handmade stuff.
I go to that immediately. Absolutely.
And she lights up. She's like, Dad, I have a customer.
Hello. What do you have here?
I made these. They so this is a beaded bracelet, but it's stretchy, so you could like use it as a choker as well, I think. Oh, and this
big eyes, just like absolutely entranced.
and she didn't like, she doesn't realize like what she's like. And this is, I found this. It's a really cool rock, and then I glued this to it, so it's like a pin. Because I thought it was really cool, and I glued this stuff on, and it's just like flat rock that she, you know, sequenced or like glittered up or something. And but there is a very, like, the bracelets are cute, they're beaded and they're very colorful. You know, she did those herself and they're tied with string.
Okay. I would like to buy everything that she's selling.
That's what I was waiting for. I'm like, tell us about everything.
Yep.
Absolutely everything that she is selling.
Come back just like covered. Like.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the most, probably like eight pieces of like.
Yep. Absolutely everything. 100%.
I was gonna say,
absolutely
yeah, wear
everything.
so much we probably don't even notice there's more.
Absolutely everything.
right.
Oh wait! There will be a small moment I would love to have.
Her eyes just go wide. Oh, everything? Oh,
If that's okay. If there's any that you keep for yourself, that's fine too.
No, yes, you can take them all.
Okay.
Dad, how much? I didn't. And he kind of looks over, who was like trying to deal with like a different customer for like a shield, and he like sees you crouched down there.
I smile and I wave.
He nods, and he can tell, like, you know, you mean very well here. Appreciative, and he's just, well, dear, how much your time is worth? How long did you spend on these? And he's trying to like teach, right? Like, how long did you spend making them? Okay, so and so like she's trying to do like the math, and she comes back to you. Okay, sorry, thank you for waiting. A silver?
He's so precious.
Tal will think.
We'll die for them too.
Two silver, one silver. What, does that seem fair? She's like asking you.
And Tal will make a show of like looking, like inspecting each piece and like holding it up to, you know, whatever kind of light is around and anything like that. And then is going to dig in and give one entire gold piece to this child.
Yes.
It's gonna cry.
Thank you so much. And she's just like like hugging it to her chest, like, Dad, I did it. And so she runs off like to show her dad, and she's like, oh, and she comes running back, and she just like takes the napkin that all of these were laying on, and she like tries to like bundle it up and like tie it into a bow. So it's this little, like,
you don't. No, you don't have to do that. And Tal's just gonna start like taking them and literally just putting them on her body as like this child is sitting here and watching.
Do you want this too? And it's like she's like giving you like the handkerchief, like the colorful handkerchief that laid on.
Tal nods and is just gonna take it's gonna take it, gonna roll it up, because I assume it's like a square handkerchief or something like that.
Yeah.
It's gonna roll it up so it's like a tube, and then it's gonna tie it onto their belts, and then take one of the it's gonna take that pin and is gonna pin it to that.
Oh, perfect.
Belt. So it's like kind of like
Yes.
a brooch situation on the scarf.
Gorgeous. She's like watching you, and then she just kind of like, as you finish it up, she's just like, those look really pretty on you.
Well, they look pretty because you spent time making them. So thank you. Keep making things
make
like
more.
this. Absolutely, you do.
And she just like runs to go like down like the hall, like the street, to go look for stuff.
Tal's gonna like get up and like kind of rock on their feet, and then kind of like try to get some of the stickiness off of her fingers from the sweets, and then turn around and look at like the people, and then like there's this distinct like shift on her face as she remembers, oh no. Just gonna run back and try to find everyone else.
Probably run back as you like see Hideaki like hand this crate into Overnose's
There it is.
mouth.
Yep. Because you're tall. You gotta be big.
I'm a big guy.
Yep.
We're big guys.
Amazing.
But no, yeah.
All right.
Tal will run over and specifically to Hideaki, because that's who I see, and say, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I completely forgot why we were here. But I need you all to see these. And he's going to literally point out each and every single piece of new thing that they got to each and every single one of you. And if you're not here, like if Ark is somewhere else, like finishing that chicken scenario, they're going to start over and they're going to tell you each and everything. And absolutely.
I
How many
love it.
stalls did you go to?
3?
What?
3?
That's so much.
That's a lot. Well, I had to get the food. I had to get to the
Okay.
food, and then I went to a different stall for food,
I
and
tell you
then
what.
I found
I tell you what, and I kind of like shake the. That sounds really awful, but like just to kind of like,
Just,
be like,
like,
we got
tap
kind of
it.
like yeah.
I shake
Like
the
I kind of like.
chickens.
I was like, wait.
All right, we got upside down
this is
chickens.
why
We got shaken
Jacob,
chickens. What are we
Jacob
doing
doesn't
here?
have a filter. Jacob doesn't have a filter, ladies and germs. And you just saw an example of it where he doesn't know what's happening up here, and it just comes out, and you're like,
Next T-shirt, Waffles Maple Syrup, shake the chickens.
yeah. I will co-sign the hell out of that. Hell, I'll even sign it. So he's just like, you know what though? We did this piece already. Are you okay? Are you happy with what you got?
Mm-hmm.
Well then, guess what? Everybody wins.
Yeah.
So your apology is not accepted. And I just kind of like clap her on the shoulder, like a little too hard. Like, don't worry about it.
I think what he means is the apology is unnecessary, not that we don't accept it.
Oh right, yeah, that's probably the better way to word that. Yeah.
Next time though, I will try to be more focused on what we're doing.
Yeah, see, we have the opposite problems where like I get really focused and you're just like your blast radius is just.
You, Hideaki, hear a voice, familiar voice in your head, going, because he can't speak with this in his mouth, and he's like,
Yeah.
"This is really demeaning. Just want to say."
Like, I'll just say telepathically to just over Noza. You mean it's demeaning to us?
That's all you hear, just that sigh.
Checkmate.
And then who is trained in nature?
Hold on, can I go before this real quick?
Yeah. Yes.
As Tal's kind of showing everything and everyone puts in their words, Art holding one chicken that has its legs tied up with rope from his climbing kit. He kind of looks over all of this stuff and says, I hope you did not pay more than 3 copper. And then just goes back to the rest of the group.
Seriously?
All right, put this on the list. We need to teach Ark about emotional cost. Some things are just worth more because you like them.
There's a class.
Arafe is like making mental notes of, okay, so we need to teach Ark about this. We need to teach Ark about this. And it's like all social construct stuff.
Yeah.
At the same time, she's like, and then Ark can teach me about money and can teach me about not overspending.
Tal is like, that like was like a slap. Like it was more than that. It was like a gut punch of like, what?
Yeah.
What?
To explain it fully out of
What?
character too, like you can correct me, but I don't think it was explained that you bought it like from a child. Not that that would have changed Ark's opinion, but
Yeah.
like it was like, look at all the stuff I bought, and he just
Yeah.
in his mind he
Like,
quickly,
yeah, like-
he quickly appraised it and was like, I really
Yeah,
hope
yeah.
you didn't overspend because you can do that at markets.
Right. Yeah. I understand. Tau?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Same here from Art. Like,
Yeah.
Especially the emotional whiplash of just like, oh, everything's fine.
So good.
Green.
There was like a little bit of me that was like, oh, but I feel it. But like because I felt it before.
yep.
And to clarify as well, like the things like the pin, a little bit more shoddily done because it was like just some stuff glued together, but like the beaded bracelet is pretty. It's very colorful. It has a lot of like, creatively colorful beads, just not a particular pattern or anything. But
Yeah.
on its own they are pretty, and they're not all like done by a 5-year-old. It's not macaroni art.
It's well done crafts from
Yep.
an 8
Right.
to 10-year-old.
And
Exactly.
Ark is just like my +7. I could definitely do it. Like,
Now I'm just
okay.
waiting for Ark to show up at Tal's door with like, here is what you have purchased. A new bracelet.
please
Yeah.
pay me 1 gold for this. Thank you.
next, and then Art's gonna be like, now the stock market.
I also want like to give a second for Ark's like moments as well. Like we just learned, like you guys in character just learned about Taliatia being from a circus. Like, are there any question marks? Like Arafe is like, okay, we gotta teach Ark all this stuff, but is there like a question of like, how does he not know this at all in anybody's heads, or like, like is there curiosity beyond that?
Oh, well, Hideaki's mind. I mean, absolutely. As with every, his natural reaction is to either question or from to use a Star Troopers reference. Would you like to know more? Yes. Agreed. So definitely. But like Ark to Hideaki seems like he's got like his guard like all the way up. And in his mind, he's like, I'm working on a couple different people, but I'll get there. I'll get there.
Yep.
I guess what I would ask is it extremely evident to the rest of us that Ark is a construct? Or, like, is that very evident to us?
I'll let. Do you
Say
have
no
it?
for
Do you
my-
have an answer? Or do you want me to answer, GM?
I think in terms of like each of y'all's backgrounds, unlikely that you ever met
Yeah.
an android before,
Yeah.
but I mean, like Hideaki, you read a lot of books. Like I kind of want to, if you've heard of it, I want to leave up a
think I
little
have.
bit to you and your character,
Yeah.
in terms of even vaguely, but knowing a lot about them, not at all.
Yeah, I'll,
Right.
Not
like,
much know.
I'll,
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry,
Go ahead,
I'll
Waffles,
explain
go
what
for it.
you see, and then I'll let. Obviously, I really want your characters to make the decision. So
Yeah.
he is a humanoid person. He's not like a warforged. He literally looks like he has skin, though he does have lines of very bright, what looks like magical energy running through his skin. Now, obviously, there are elementals here, shadow fae here, RFA something like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you would be like, boom, android,
Boom.
but he's
Yeah.
not a human. He's not an elf.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was kind of wondering like how common constructs were, and if that's something we could be like, oh, that's a thing, I know that, or if
Yeah,
this
so-
is like a data on the Enterprise thing. You see him and he just seems more like an
Androids-
off human being until he's like, I'm an android, and you're like, there it is.
Androids are rare ancestries,
Okay.
so not even uncommon, but flat out rare. So
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
like you might think like maybe they're tattoos, maybe they're magical tattoos or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before you think
Yeah.
of everything else.
That
Like,
makes sense.
it may seem obvious, but like he does, like he finds like all of this fascinating, but the what's intriguing isn't like all like he's an android or like it's the start stops, and it reminds him of his dad, and so he's just like really like because if he gets to know him, then he'll get to know his dad better too.
Oh no!
Oh, man.
So deep.
All
So
right.
we're
I
going
guess
at it.
in that sense, then Arafe would walk after Ark and just be like, Ark, have you never purchased something for more than it's worth just because you like it?
He sits on the question for maybe a second and says, like it. It
Yes,
has
enjoy
its-
it.
He stops for a second, thinks. I enjoy its use. If it is useful, I will purchase it for its price.
Not everything has to be useful.
Why?
Sometimes you just buy things because they make you happy. They're pretty. They shine the right way. Maybe you know someone who would enjoy it, even though it's not useful to you. Have you never bought anything like that?
A reminder to you, Ark. You've never been in a market like this before.
I was
This
gonna
is
say, I don't
probably
think-
more people in one place than you have ever seen.
Yeah. I imagine at the most he is, just for a little insight to the character, he has heard stories about this kind of trade. Like, let's trade an
Absolutely.
item for an item, that kind of stuff. But he's never been there. And he kind of cocks his head to RFA a little and says, no, I have not. Though I do. You see, like, probably the closest to a human emotion you could ever see from him, as you see like a slight head bounce to the side as if he's considering something. He's like, though I do know that items can invoke these feelings. And he says that as if feelings is a word that he's never heard before.
I'd like to imagine in like the background of this conversation is just like a little chibi version of Tal going up to Hideaka being like, did I do something wrong? Are they mad at me?
I love it.
Just like with the
make
giant
Mom and Dad
like
argue?
watery eyes with like the like fake anime tears like, did I do something wrong? Yeah, exactly right.
Somebody please draw chibi versions.
That's perfect.
Please, please.
That-
I will pay for it.
And so Arafe will go, sometimes people buy things for more than they're worth for many reasons. Maybe they enjoy it. Maybe they were just trying to give someone money, but they didn't want to just give it to them. And sometimes when you point that out, you can make people feel bad. And I'm going to point to Tal. Sometimes it's worth letting people make those mistakes and just not say anything. And I'm just going to pat him on the shoulder, and I'm going to head towards Tal and be like, Tal, they're so pretty. I think they're amazing.
I think upon the pat, he nods and just like, he understands at least enough that the conversation is over. But I think behind the scenes, like if the camera was going to stay on him and Arafe was gone, he would sit there for a second and he would say, yes, you can give more money. Like to buy a chicken that somebody else is trying to buy. And like everybody would realize that like maybe while Arafe is definitely trying to get to him, right now it's just over his head.
Yep. No, I mean it's
Baby steps.
it's the type of like a start of a conversation that maybe you'll draw the connection to in the future, right? Like,
And it's
Yeah.
one of those, like, in Arafe's head, like, she understands that it's that Arc doesn't quite understand the concept. So she wasn't trying to talk about it in a way that's like, you kind of suck. It's just more like something to think about. I know
Yeah,
you didn't
this
mean
is-
to be mean, but just
For
think
sure.
about
yeah.
it.
Absolutely.
Episodes are very good.
This is the best shopping episode we could ever have.
That's
So
true.
good.
And on the way back, Arafe is also remembering that she's afraid of chickens. And she's holding one.
Let me announce that Waffles loves that little girl and would absolutely pay
yeah.
as,
Oh,
many,
yeah.
as many
Oh,
gold
yeah.
as was
Oh
in his
yeah.
pocket.
Oh, 100%.
course.
Yes, absolutely.
Embodying a character.
Ark would tell her to go home though.
Oh god. Okay.
Man.
Amazing.
Love
Okay.
that.
So just tell me, is anybody trained in medicine, nature?
Yes.
I am.
Medicine,
Okay.
yes.
I both.
Nature for me.
-1 in
It's-
both.
Yeah, Ark, you're kind of like you're gonna be caught up in this conversation in your head, and you might be doing those like practices that you know of like you're kind of defaulting to, and you can obviously tell me no. The logic practices that you had of like finding like holes in. I don't know if anybody has taken. It was one of my favorite classes in college, but it was like logic class, and it was about like arguments. I had the freaking funniest teacher. Not gonna get into that story. Who would say stuff that like everyone would be like, "Did you really just say that?" Okay.
I mean,
every day.
If it makes you feel any better, he's trained in nature.
He was basically like you the task that you would have to do is like find the fallacies.
Yep.
To get more complex and things like that. So you're just like reviewing this in that kind of practice, like if I think of it this way, is that accurate? And you're that's where you're now. Everybody else, your attention turns back a little bit. The fact that you guys are carrying chickens, and it's raining and it's like a little chilly, a little clammy, and you do recall that they said that they were like not the healthiest or very
Hardy.
yeah, not the most hardy of chickens.
They're gonna die.
But
Mm-hmm.
simply enough, I mean, you are trained in medicine. Everybody to roll, whatever. But
Cut
these
out a lot on that line.
that's okay. Basically, you guys recognize that they should be kept warm. You have a long walk back to campus.
Like a breath weapon warm.
Roasted chicken.
Fried chicken, my friend.
Yikes.
This I need a shirt where it's like different boxes of like the chicken incident, and it's just like shaken chickens, upside down chickens, breath weapon chickens, like attempts at like the different ways of
And then
taking
just
care
free
of these.
chickens.
Just free chickens.
Gone.
Things to use your breath weapon for: lighting
Oh
candles,
my God.
keeping chickens warm.
Yep.
If there were boxes, I'm sorry, I'm a design head here. So like in the box, chicken, like you get open box, and the chickens are coming out of the box.
Yes.
It's like the visual element. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway. So with that focus, you're able to, whether that's keep them warm with keeping them close to you, like taking them cover from the rain. all
Tal
that
is
good
hugging
stuff.
a chicken.
You can finish up any other shopping that you wish, and you head on back to campus.
Yay.
When you return, the Habrum's there, Essie's there. They're kind of chilling in the lounge, and and very, very tentatively, hiding relatively close to Essie, is Anchor Root as well. And she is kind of like there to like look at the chickens, like she's kind of peeking out as you guys come over. Okay. She kind of like really under her breath. Those are the right chickens. To Essie, like you barely hear her. And upon this, are you one important question? Are you guys returning any excess money to them?
Yes.
They
What a
don't
good
know how much
question.
it costs.
I know, but Arafe does, and she has the money.
I was about to say, Ark isn't, because he spent his pocket money to outbid that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Star
Yeah,
wants
yeah.
to keep the money. Arafe would give it back.
There you go. Same.
Tal wants to give the small anchor root a rock pin.
Oh,
Real bad.
Oh gosh. So upon your return, they're like, "Oh, wonderful. Did it go smoothly? Everything went well?"
Oh, went pretty well.
yes.
Didn't take too long. I think the hardest part was finding it.
Real. It took 2 hours.
And we're there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, after that, right? Yeesh.
And I'm assuming, by the way, that you probably got some food for yourselves once you had secured the chicken. But yeah.
I had a fruit. Yeah, that's sweet.
I mean, we had roasted chicken, right?
Yeah, one of the.
You guys
how
behave
many?
on
How
the way
many
back.
How many did you bring back? Subtract one.
We got hungry.
Ark just, got his own chicken,
Yeah. Yeah.
Used his own money.
Mark paid for lunch for us. Is what happened.
But hey, Brum, like, kind of like claps you on the back, Hideaki, as you take the like as he takes the chicken from you. I'm assuming you take it from Rosa, and he's like, "Oh, excellent work. Thank you so much. We will get these inside, keep them warm, and we will get them over to the farmer. This is absolutely wonderful. Thank you all so much. Fantastic job.
Thank you for the positive reinforcement.
Anytime."
I hope so.
He like goes and like spins and is like, "Yeah."
That was a lot.
Anime spin.
Spin on
He
his
reminds
heels.
me of freaking what's the guy that always takes his shirt off on Full Metal Alchemist?
Armstrong?
Yeah, Armstrong. He reminds me of Armstrong.
Yeah.
Like, yes, anytime.
Where did your shirt go?
Again with the shirts. We have a budget.
And he's just like, "Oh, go ahead."
No, you go. You finish.
No, it's just like he's definitely of like the mindset of like go all in. Like you guys got so many chickens, he's elated. You got the right chickens, they're healthy, like he's like heck yeah. And he seems very like boosted by it.
Talus slowly started making their way to this very small, skittish individual, who I assume is still standing behind Essie.
Yes.
And is like gonna kneel down and is gonna take the pin off of their belts and is just gonna like hold it out and say, "I hope we can be friends. This is for you."
For me?
Mm-hmm.
She like
didn't
pokes
get to
out.
go to the market today, so I you can have this one.
Oh, I didn't. I wasn't even in there in the morning to give the assignment. I don't deserve like.
This is
And
a
like
gift.
Essie.
You don't have to deserve a gift.
And Essie kind of is like trying to encourage like the interaction. She's kind of not like leaving her like cold like and stepping aside, but she's kind of trying to let her get a little bit more exposure. It's a gift, Anchor.
If you don't want it, you can always give it to someone else.
Thank you. And she like reaches her hand out very like slowly, like she doesn't want to like grab it, but she's like thank you.
Just like plop it in her.
Is there a story behind it?
Well, let me tell you. Tal is going to tell them a story that has not really anything to do with the market. However, it is a story that their grandmother would tell them when they were very small. It was a very fantastical story about like this magical mine that would grant wishes to people who would like pick the rocks from it and all of those things. And would finish by saying, "Now I don't know where this rock came from, but until we find out, we can say that it came from that place." So you can, it's a wishing rock now.
She kind of looks it over and she's like, thank you for the story.
Or you can make your own story for it. That's just my story.
Is that a story from where you come from?
It's a story that my grandmother used to tell me all the time. when I was a little bit younger, but it was always one of my favorites.
Then it's an important one, and I thank you for sharing it.
Thank you.
And you know, Abram in the meantime is like letting obviously, but he's kind of like stretching outside after the one kind of like put away,
Cutting off again.
and he's just kind of
You-
like,
Yeah, can you repeat that one?
I cut out. He after the chickens are put away, Abram's out there going like, all right, so that's your assignment for the day. Who wants to help me?
Wait, with
What
what?
are you doing?
I will.
He grins, and you see him walk, and we're in front of the dorms again, and you see him kind of like meander down to this spire, one of the 4 spires at the top left of the dorms. And hold on.
Holding.
He looks back at you and he goes, This is the soaring spire. Hup! And he high jumps. And he suddenly soars 60 feet into the air right by this spire, and tries to land on top of it with an athletics check. And he kind of like fails, and he like slides down the side of it without taking too much damage. And he's just like, all right, let's try again. And he basically shows you one of the funnest things, in my opinion, which is the soaring spire. It looks identical to all the other spires around this building, but there's a strange gravitational anomaly around this one. And you are free to explore it.
Tal explores it a whole lot.
Next episode.
Ingenuity will join you.
Yeah. We're jumping.
So Abram has a hang glide thing that he uses off of this, and he fucking loves it. He's a little daredevil, and I can't wait for y'all to have some fun with that.
Yeah. I already have some ideas. I already know what.
Yeah, 100%. So with that, successful completion of your first assignment on day 1. Absolute. And funnily enough, there's like a lot of different things that that could have happened, and you guys did very well. So I'm very proud. You guys did amazing. I freaking loved all your character moments. Like, thank you guys, honestly, for being such amazing players, because it's
Thank you for being an amazing GM.
You
Heck yeah.
gave us a really good sandbox.
That's what I'm saying.